Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight. Better off, I'm gonna find my way tonight. Wait tonight. Won't you talk to me? I wanna heal your sorrow. Won't you talk to me? We'll make a new tomorrow. Won't you talk to me? What makes this happy? Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight. Better off, I'm gonna find my way tonight. Wait tonight. Won't you talk to me? I wanna heal your sorrow. Won't you talk to me? We'll make a new tomorrow. Won't you talk to me? What makes this happy festival?
For them, seeing that the Camille was taking top lane tier 2 and she might just take it right in front of this Ahri with the damage from her Q. The Camille hookshot actually misses and Ahri's gonna take her down, I would guess, but the Ahri missing every spell and Camille taking her down! What?
Ryan UV coming up big again.
Yes, he can. Malmö has to flash ult or something.
It's Svenska, Mike's range.
Going in onto the ADC, big Renato ult hitting almost everyone. It's gonna be a wipe, as you would expect, but this could be still a good fight. Oh my god, Orianna ult on 4 people, but it's not gonna be enough. The Ezreal gets hit by the Senna. He has a slow now and so much attack speed. He's gonna be able to kill the
going. He doesn't care.
Going in with ult. But that's a 1v5
going
that
in
might be a bit
1v5.
overextended, but she just doesn't care at all. She knows she has the GA to wipe everyone, and that's just so much damage coming out from the Ezreal and the Irelia. And that's just a 5-man wipe immediately after getting the soul.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Verax Esports stream. I hope you're all glad to be back, as I am, because I haven't been able to cast for a while because I've had poo internet. But now I'm back, ready for some action games together with Patrick today as my co-caster.
Hello. It's great to have you here again. We've missed you on the stream. We've missed you. Ever since I came to Verax stream as a caster, I was like, when are we going to see Cheese again? This guy brought so much energy to the broadcast. We need him
Aw.
back. And now,
Don't make me blush. Man.
finally, you fix your internet.
I didn't fix.
You
I
fix
moved.
your things, and you're good. Well,
Yeah.
that's a fix, you know?
Yeah. Well, in any case, today we have moved to semi-finals in Division 3 of Seoul. We're gonna have an exciting game today between Boysen, and Malmö City. I don't think they're affiliated with the actual Malmö City. I just must state that, but you know.
Yeah, not official cooperation.
Exactly. Just so no one's confused there. No, but I guess we can quickly just introduce the teams for the people who are newer. I think Mama City is quite a new team this season, just a group of friends, higher elo friends that came. We got the wrong production is not syncing with my mind. I know it's been a while, so can't think of it. But I guess Boysen, these are the older dogs, say, and they've played for several seasons now together. So they've been through a lot together. So they're definitely they got demoted last time from Div 2, but they're on track to maybe get back up there now with qualifying for the semifinals quite convincingly in their last game, going 2-0 in that match. So are you excited to see some boys in today, Patrick?
Yeah, definitely, especially since, Verax and both me personally have history with Boysen. Like last season, when we promoted to Div 2 as Verax Sky, we beat Boysen in the promotion relegation tournament in the best of 3 series. And before that, in the season previously, when I was still at the team called Kashi back then, we were the ones that were in Div 2, and we got beaten by Boysen, and they took the Div 2 spot from us. So it's really interesting to see the guys that we have a little bit of rivalry per se, to see them play
For sure.
and actually see them perform. Maybe they will promote to Div 2 and we will see them the next season and we will play each other, but this time during regular season and not promotions and relegations.
That would be the ultimate sort of storyline completed, but for now, you're just gonna have to remain a impartial observer and cheer for the guys. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if you want to see or face them again, but hopefully for their sakes, they do well today and qualify for the finals and potentially then that Div 2 qualification tournament. So with that said, I think we can look a bit here. I mean, this is the standard team, not just in, they've been together for a while. They play pretty standard as well, from what I remember, the classic weak side top laner with carry bot lane, the tried and true strategy for years and years and years. And yeah, do you have anything else to, having played them a lot, Patrick, do you have anything else to add about Boysen?
I mean, Boysen, they usually play pretty standard. They have that one karma sticking out a little bit of all the picks that they do sometimes pick out and decide to go for the double range bot lane. And as you mentioned before, like, I might be rooting for Boysen to be, to get up there and to get back that Div 2 spot. But today, I am not being biased towards anyone. I'm just cheering for to see some good League of Legends action because that's what's the most important thing, I feel like. But I think Boysen, since they've played together for quite a long time, they have that synergy built in within the squad and they know what they try to go for. And I mean, so far they've succeeded at that. Like last playoffs round, as you mentioned, they beat their opponents 2-0, and that was very convincing win in the best of 3 series. And now they're ready to take on the number 4 seed from, I believe, Group A in the Division 3, which is the Malmö City. that they have been a little bit shaky. They haven't been as convincing in their bracket run. They won their previous series 2-1.
Yeah, so I mean, go to their opponents today. I think it's gonna be a bit of a rough one. It's Malmö City again, as we said. It's a group of friends, highly real friends with one emerald. I guess I don't know how that account is, but a group of friends nonetheless that are just playing kind of official together. Doesn't practice much. So as you said, they went 2-1 the last series. They've had a bit of a rougher bracket run so far, but still coming out on top. So have you noticed anything special about Malmö City? For me, they're a completely new team. I don't know much about them other than it seems to be a Twitch enjoyer in there, which I like.
They are a fairly new team, and there's not much data that we can pull from the OPGG. Besides, maybe that the AD carry player is more of a hyper carry. He likes that Twitch. He likes that videos. He likes to be that 1v9. The AD carry syndrome. The main character want to be the
Yeah.
center of attention. And I mean, if it works, it works. I think if you have a strategy that works for you and you are able to execute it well, I don't think there's much you need to change about it. But maybe at some point during the season, there will come an opponent that is prepared for what you're about to bring to the table and will be able to come up with some counter to your strat. And then you have to think to yourself, how do you adapt in this situation where opponents are prepared for what you bring to the table and are ready to take the fight with you and be on your ground.
But I don't doubt that Boysen will be really good at prepping. They've been around the block. They've played a lot of Soul Seasons. They know how to prep for opponents, right? But how do you prep as a coach against a friend team like this that mainly plays official and just plays whatever they feel like? I mean, we see carry top laners, we see A tank jungle, but then mostly carry jungles. We have carry bots, we have carry mids, and I support. I guess is the only one that is not playing a carry, but a lot of explosiveness coming out from Malmö City is there. And if you're Boysen, how would you prep for this, Patrick?
Well, you have to look at two things. If you are going into prepping for a team like Malmö City, you first look for something that's sticking out. And if you see that they are playing a lot of scary picks, like a lot of chaos in the draft, they have a lot of maybe of meta picks or something that's really unusual that most people and most teams don't play because most people just are slaves to the meta. Then you have to think about your own game more than the opponent game, so to say, because if you play your game correctly and if you play it slow, if enemies have some explosive picks in their up their sleeves, you will win no matter what. And if there's maybe one specific pick that they can pull out that really stands out, then maybe you will have to have some sort of counter strat to that one pick. But as I can see that there's many options that Malmö City can go for, which and I think they're trying to play a really high pace game from what I see on their champion pools, which means that Boysen will maybe try to slow them down and put them on a clock and be they forcing them to do something during the games, or they will have team compositions that will outscale because usually the meta builds that you play for the late game team fight compositions, and if you have a team comp that outscales versus those explosive picks, you will succeed no matter what.
And succeed, we will have to see as we're getting right into the draft between Boysen and Malmö City. And we see Mundo being early banned away here by, I believe, I believe we have a bit of a. They have to be swapped, so it's gonna be.
All right. So Boysen choose red side for the first game since they are the higher seed team.
Yeah.
So they picked
There we go.
to play from red side the game one. Usually you don't see that often because many teams just opt for the blue side because a lot of teams just say that blue side is OP to draft from because you have so many power picks that you want to take, and then you sort of do maybe a trade-off for picks and you pick the more comfortable one for you. But Boysen decides to go for the red side, have that counter peek on R5. We'll see what they
Yeah.
can cook up with this.
I mean, yeah, you're perfectly right. The blue side is the normal one. You get that powerful first pick. But I mean, if you're against a team that relies heavily on comfort picks and cannot play as their solo queue champions, it's much easier to then maybe prep specific counters to those champions. So then red side could make sense, for Boysen. If that's their train of thought, say.
Yeah, for sure. Now we see pretty standard balance from Boysen. We have that Aurora strong, really reliable pick. Now being picked both in mid and top for a lot of teams. And the Sejuani. And we see from Malmö City, there's, I would say right now, 3 jungle bans because Mundo has been more and more popular in the jungle recently rather than being played in top lane. And we see Aphelios last ban. As I mentioned, the Aphelios enjoyer from Malmö City. And we have Pantheon.
Pantheon first pick. I mean, there's a lot of power picks, open. I mean, Gwen maybe be a bit more of a counter, but like Naferi, from what I know, still hasn't been patched, and she's quite
Uh, yeah, she has
cheaper
been
pick.
patched she has
Oh,
been nerfed one patch.
patched,
She
but
is still, yeah, but she's still strong. Still has been picked in places like LEC, but Pantheon on the first pick I think is really nice because you have that like that flex potential because he can go basically 3 lanes if you are willing to do that. He can go support, jungle, or top lane. And we see now pretty standard Ezreal, reliable pick in the bot lane. Maybe they'll try to go for stronger top side since they have that counter pick on red side. I wouldn't mind
and the good thing about
if
Pantheon
they
here, right,
go from
is
boys and boys.
it's kind of a flex pick, so they still haven't revealed a lot and still go to multiple different positions. And here we see sort of what I feel like is the most standard, like 80 carry jungle or 1 or 2. It's tried and true. It's
Yeah.
been picked very often. I mean, sometimes you see some top lane, just like I'm just gonna throw the top lane out of the bus, but generally on red side you want to save that for counter, as you say. I'm interested in what counter boys and boys will play because they're generally weak side top. So them on red side for that strategy is quite interesting. But Kaisa being answered here from Malmö City. So Pantheon Kaisa already really explosive picks coming out. But Inter and Estriel, how do you feel about these early picks here, Patrick?
Uh, I mean, if they try to go for that early pressure, they would want a. Oh,
Oh, never mind.
what happened to the draft? But yeah. Anywho, if you're going for the Kaisa, you want to have some strong early push
Yeah,
on
I'm hearing from
someone
production that
quick.
someone canceled the draft, so I guess we'll get back into it soon. But yeah, finish
Yeah.
your point, Patrick. I want to hear, like, what did you think about the early picks that we did see?
Yeah, I think if Ezreal is being picked, then sure, Malmö City can indicate that maybe they will try to go for roaming support and leave that Ezreal alone. Then you go for the Kaisa, which can have early pressure, and you would want maybe you put that Pantheon on the bot lane, or maybe you go for something like an Alistar. That with Pantheon jungle, you can set up like dives on bot lane, and if the support decides to roam, you would just try to perma-dive that Ezreal and push him behind. Uh, and that's what I was afraid of. But in that case, you still have that last pick on red side, and if they would decide to go for that default combo of like Kaisa Alistar on bot lane, then you could see a potential Silas pick from Boysen because those ultimates are really looking good.
But in that case, I feel like you mentioned it before, like Boys, they do play some Karmas, right? So Ezreal Karma is a combo that has a lot of poke, could have a lot of push. So like having that Alistar or maybe an engage support with the Kai'Sa is very common. But if they can't secure push, they can't really execute a dive strategy very well. So I feel like it's very good against these melee supports to grab some pokey poke or some range support that can help you secure push in the lane.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
but
something they
then
look
you
for.
have to see and you have to decide what do you sacrifice in that case. Because if you put a range support, then you lose that roam potential because he will most likely be stuck with the ADC for a long period of the game and not able to move around on the map as much as he would like to. And also, if you decide to go for that one support that can just roam, can leave that Ezreal alone, then you will sacrifice the thing that he might be put behind. He might be just pushed into the towers. They will be trying to set up those dives and can put him behind. But then you have to ask yourself, can you trade something on the map that's equally valuable or even more valuable so that you get that trade off?
We'll have to see. what they end up going for when we do get back into that draft. And as you say, I hope we get melee support because that's always most exciting on the map itself. You know, a lot of plays, a lot of action. Very good for play-by-play like me. It's kind of what I do. I shout about action. But meanwhile, I can just answer. I got a question in chat about what cheese I like the most, and I've never gotten that question before ever.
Never.
But I guess I can quickly just say that I've swapped around a bit. I used to be really in love with cheddar, but I finally aged cheddar. But now I think 24 months Parmigiano Reggiano because I really like cooking Italian food currently. So that's probably my. It's a bit of a basic one, but it just works so well for a lot of things. You can have it in all foods.
I mean, it is sort of basic, but I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I feel like.
Oh, no, you indeed can't. I mean, I love cheese, goat cheese, every cheese. I mean,
We love cheese.
I'm not a sucker for blue cheese like the mold cheese as much. I mean, it's okay, it's good with crackers, but it's not my favorite. I know some people are really want that in everything. I'm more of a yeah. I keep to the basics. I think the classics.
Yeah, but I'm on the other hand very big fan of blue cheese. I'm a very blue cheese enjoyer.
I bet you are.
Yes, and also you mentioned that you like melee supports, and you know what? I am the range.
What? Oh, I think something happened here with my. Yeah, he dropped. Good. I didn't want to hear what he had to say anyways. It's fine. Okay. But meanwhile, we actually have some replays from I think all the Boysen games that we actually did stream, and they're up on screen now. I was a while ago I casted this, and this was an old game versus TNS, and I believe they did quite well in this game. Gonna hype them up for the upcoming series, Boysen. Sadly, I want to be fair, and welcome back, Patrick.
Hello, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. We've all been there. I've been there for a year, so don't worry.
Yep.
I'm finally stable now. But we have some replays of Boysen, just hyping them up. I wish we could hype both teams up, but we only have replays of one that we have streamed before. But yeah, here we see them with their standard teamfight comps, weak side carry with the Karma range support. So you like?
Yay, we love range supports. As I mentioned, I am. I know a lot of people hate me for this. I've been hated a lot by many people, including
Oh,
my lovely
but we're
GM in the
back.
chat. She hates me for being a Lulu player, but we're back in the draft.
We're back in the draft indeed. Yeah, now I assume it's going to be same. We're just going to repeat the same bands and the same picks. So we had the Pantheon Kaisa and the Estral Wukong being picked, and mid was about to be picked. Now, they're on blue side. They have to blind. Well, they don't have to pick mid lane, but the mid lane spot. Sorry, been out of it for a bit. But what do you expect them to blind pick here? Because they have to blind pick something on third blue side. What would you go for if you were Malmö City here?
There's a lot of picks that have been taken away. I think the most standard per se is like if you can do it, you just go for like a Casante, or you just go for something like an Orn. That's like the most standard blind stop.
Yeah.
And then you just like, you sack some gold, you sack some XP, and then you scale into the game. You're like, that's fine. I can be put behind. Don't worry, guys. I'm scaling.
I am aware that Rugrat did some Pantheon top, I guess, a game or two there, so it could be something they want to opt for. I mean, I guess the other blind you do is you blind mid, you pick like Ori or something and try to just equal, but then of course you kind of limit what options you have for team code building, because Ori is kind of safe, but she does everything kind of okay and nothing amazingly.
Yeah, she's not really good at one specific job. She's okay at everything you need, sort of.
Yeah.
She fits a lot of comps, but she's not great in one specific comp.
One issue I feel like for Malmö City is they've picked two very aggro champions, kind of like red champions. If you know Magic, kind of go in your face, gonna hit face like Hunter in Hearthstone. So
Rumble.
boys, knowing this, I wouldn't be surprised if they start picking some disengage, try to like get some control. But they ended up Rumble. They had Wukong last time, so I guess we are changing some picks. So now it's Rumble as well. I mean, I like Rumble in general. Can flex a bit, still in jungle top, but generally it's just been a really strong top pick. From
Yeah,
a team
Rolling
out
now
of
has been
Korea.
really stable, really strong blind pick top.
But interesting they would blind
Now we see
top because
Kai'Sa.
they like, what would they leave the counter for then? I guess mid support.
Uh, yeah, you usually like I would assume that if you have a strong top pick, like the Rumble being open that you can get and get away with it, then you leave the counter pick to support, especially since you have that Pantheon effects. You don't know where he's going yet. You can leave that to the last pick to decide for yourself where that Pantheon ends up, and then
Yeah.
what you can counter the support with. And we see Cho'Gath. So as we mentioned, we set pick. I mean, Cho'Gath has been really popular recently with that Hail of Blades, Turelias, Ooga Booga, random item generator build.
Yeah. I mean, Cho'Gath into, I guess, I don't know much about Cho'Gath Rumble, but he should be fine-ish. But I don't think he's winning. But from what I remember, once he gets 1 or 2 MR items, he starts to just be quite fine. But for that, he can be a bit. Rumble is always hard into melee champs.
Yeah, I hope that the top lane of Malmö City does not make the mistake of going HP items early because you have Rumble, you have Yone, like like just build your resistance. If they have like the percent damage on you, you're gonna be melted if you build like only HP. Because there's a lot of
Yeah.
players that just opt into going like the standard hearts into Unending Despair, which have been the most popular build. But that puts you in a situation where you hit your spike very late, per se, and that might be the reason if you get put too much behind, you will not want to be able to scale and be that beefy front line that you need from the side of Malmö City, and you would have to sacrifice some things to put the value to your team.
I mean, more importantly, we have the Yone blind. So red side kind of curveball. They've blind picked both solar laners, presumably, which is really weird. I mean, I guess they're waiting, as you said, with that flex pick to see where it's going, so they can maybe counter support. But if support's still not picked, we'll have to see. I mean, if the enemy plays a lot of carry bots, securing strong bot 2v2 is always good. But we see both supports and mid picks. So Vex being banned away. With blinding Yone, I feel like they would ban maybe a bit more mid picks, but I'm interested to see what you think about this, Patrick.
I think especially Yone, he got recently changed a little bit. He got 10% more damage on his passive with crit, but he got taken away the thing on his E where he can essentially cleanse CC when he times it correctly. But in the return, he gets more damage, and that has made Yone win rate jump up in solo queue. And we see that he has been really stronger now. So I feel like if you have those power picks open, you might as well take them if they're there. And now we see Vi. That's a pretty controlled pick. Just the standard jungle. You look for that pick potential with the Rumble ult, with the Yone ult to get maybe lock on one target, get that kill. And we see Akali now being picked from the side of Malmö City. I remember I mentioned that before stream that they have been some assassin enjoyers in the mid lane, and now we see that Akali being picked.
We see Akali and Braum. And Braum I really like into champs like Vi and Yonix. You can kind of deal with their all in, but I mean, all in all, I'm kind of I think Boysen they're going for like Korea draft almost like CK. We see the Rumble, we see the Yone. Vi isn't that popular over there anymore. I think she saw a couple of games when I actually followed it. It was a while ago now, I think. So I am not sure about currently what they're doing, but I mean, I'm really liking Boysen so far. It's a clear identity, has some really strong champions, strong lanes. And yeah, we see that it's Pantheon jungle that ends up being the case then with that Braum lock-in. And yeah, what are your initial thoughts on these drafts?
Uh, I think that Boysen have gotten some really strong power picks in their composition. They have the Yona, they have the Rumble. I think it will be hard for them to play it out. Like it's not that easy to execute. But then on the other hand, you have that vibe of the Galio, which is like a simple just press one button engage on both those champions. That sort of made saves that draft a little bit. And on the side of Mamba City, you have Braum, which is sort of like a protected carry, and then you have Pantheon, you have the Cho'Gath, you have the Akali. So you want to essentially dive into the enemy team.
Yeah. And with that said, we have the poll up for who won draft in chat. Please vote. Who do you think won the draft? Was it Boysen with their power picks, or Malmö City with their crazy sort of solo queue, flashy champions, except for top lane, but top lane never gets so fun. I mean, I think these drafts are very fun and going to be very explosive. I do struggle to see sort of the win conditions straight up for Malmö City because I think like when they are strong and they want to go in, I feel like Boysen they can also fight and have a bit more tools. I feel like these ultimates, the Uno, the Vi ult, the Galio R, the Rumble are just so much stronger in these mid game team fights that I struggle to see how Malmö City gets ahead. And also Pantheon versus Vi, I'm not a jungle main, but I feel like Pantheon kind of struggles a bit there in the early
Uh,
stages.
I think Pantheon is really strong after one item. Early, he can do like quite a bit of damage, but he will struggle in the 1v1 because he just hits his combo and then he doesn't have anything because he has high cooldowns early. Uh,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's what I mentioned before the games that um, more or less Malmö City are put on a clock, and if they don't manage to get ahead early, Boysen will just auto win the game with their draft.
Yeah, that's a risk I feel like as well. But we have voted on all things, and we see that in the chat, it looks like Boysen will be the winners of the poll as well in chat. So everyone is favoring Boysen. I mean, they have the team experience, having played together for so long, and they have the team comp win, and they have the track record win. So right now, it's looking like Boysen favored game for sure. But as we know, this is League of Legends. Comfort is king. And I've seen a lot of teams that should win on paper lose quite handily several times in Seoul. So I would not count anyone out. And soon we're going to go into the game and it's going to see who was right, who was wrong. Did we just cast our curse the shit out of Boysen? I don't know. But we will find out very shortly. But yeah, we have about 2 minutes before we get into the game. And Patrick, if you're Malmö City, what do you look for? What do you expect them to look for in this game? What's their game plan?
Uh, if you
Or
are
win
Malmö
Conrad?
City, you really want to look for that early game. You really want to look for those dives to set up very early pressure on the, especially on bot lane and in the mid lane. Like I would love to see that Akali try to just perma roam and go with the jungler and try and set up dives because that's what you really need. You need to get those early kills. You need to snowball and you need to really get that early lead because if you don't, then you will automatically fall behind at one point of the game.
All right. Yeah, I mean they definitely have to snowball, but I feel like there's a lot of safety and a lot of good skirmish around boys and boys. It's going to be quite hard for them. And if you boys, but we said it, they will eventually, sort of outscale. They have better team fight going through the game, and so I think the onus will be on Malmö City, specifically their jungle. He picked this Pantheon. It is his champion is put in his hands, and when you need to snowball early, it is basically support jungle show, and the support some Braum can do some plays, but not really the most aggressive melee support in the game, more of a defensive. So a lot of pressure is gonna be put on this Pantheon jungle to perform.
Yeah, I would say that most pressure is put on that mid jungle in this game from Malmö City. And uh, as I mentioned before the stream to you, that they like to play explosively, and they really showed in the draft that they try to go for the an explosive team composition. And we have to see if it pays out or not, because that's a really risky composition to play. Because if you succeed at what you try to do, sure, great, you win the game. But if you are put even or slightly
Yeah.
behind,
And
you are
with
put
that,
in a position where you are not doing anything.
And with that said, I have to interrupt you because we're going into the game between Boysen and Malmö City. And we're going to see whose city it's going to be today. Will it be blue side or will it be red side? We will soon find out as the teams hit the rift.
Yes, sir. Also, quickly, just as the game starts, I forgot to make a Malmö joke as a very proud member of the Göteborg community. So, hashtag give Malmö back to Denmark. We don't like it. For you guys.
Come on. We need to. We take over all of the Nordic countries. We want all of the Denmark territory. They're bad country anyway. Moving on.
Yeah, but if we take the territory, we take the bad side of them. The word, you know, we don't want that the bad of the word. We leave it to
Malmö
them,
has
you know?
good. Malmö has good kebab. I want it.
You have if you have not been to Göteborg, you don't know what good kebab
Dude,
is.
I
I'm
love
sorry.
I love Gothenburg, but they don't. I love Gothenburg. It's my favorite city, but they don't have the best kebab. They don't.
Yeah, I understand. You can have your opinion, like you know, and not everybody has the right opinion. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Like I accept it.
Yeah. Well, I have seniority. But in any case, now we're going into the game, and we don't see too much early shenanigans. Both teams kind of covering. Now, both bot lanes want to get this early brush control. It's so important for that early push. I see both bot lanes pushing, but they're just gonna show and poke each other out. And yeah, any lanes you want us to focus on in this early game here, Patrick?
I think there will be very important on how the bot lane trade is, and if the side of Malmö City can get the push in to maybe set up a potential dive early, or maybe we can get some solo bolo actually in the middle, because those both two champions like to fight early in the lane, and we see that.
Oh, speaking of fighting, we have a fight in the bot lane, but this is Brawl passive. Those Frostbite stacks hurt, but he's poking his support, so Kinger is hitting him just for free, but First Blood is still secured for the side of Malmö City, and that's a 1-for-1 though in the bot lane.
That is a trade in the bot lane 1-for-1, and I think that favors actually Malmö City, since Kaisa, she is put ahead and she just pick up the call early with that kill, being able to just stack as much gold as possible early, try to farm up, get those items, and be able to fight that. But
Oh, speaking of fighting, I mean, going in, but no kill just yet. But I think even more crucially, the Ezreal Kirengu, he was forced to stay there because he had to catch that bot wave, which means he hasn't based. It's now a full item if in the bot lane. He does have an XP lead, so hopefully he's able to crash this incoming wave. But as we know, ever since, you know, a couple of months ago, it's quite hard to slow push. It's not as OP as before, so they might be able to freeze or even clear this out. But yeah, we look here, they need to crash this from the side of Boysen. Both junglers should be aware that this is what needs to happen, so they might look for something flashy. He's level 4, he is pathing down. He should be revealed by killing that ward, and we do have Vi close by. Rakshai, he's looking, he's jumping on to the Vi. It's a bit of a fight for the Scuttle Crab, but it looks like Boysen, they get the inside track, and Rakshai, he's all alone. But now the Braum, he stands with him, but it might not be enough, as Abby has first move from middle, but Ashish is getting low. He's getting taken down. The Kaisa is soon to follow, and Poke is looking, can he clean this up? Via Soul, there's a flash for Flash. Poke now is alone against two people, Abby and Kingeru. They're looking to clean up Poke, and now Tarmero is back in his mid laner up, but can he do enough? The slow is not enough, because Abby with the flash is picking up a kill, and that is a major plus for Boysen.
That is a really big fight for Boysen. It has been very interesting how the jungler of Malmö City moves, and I mentioned that they would want to fight early to get those leads, but if you will fight, you want to win those fights, you want to get ahead, but you pick up a fight that's essentially bad for you, and that's how it ends up.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw that, you know, Rice, he really wanted to contest that Scholar Crab, but his bot lane just did not have the prio. They were trying to freeze, so they hadn't secured a good push, which meant that the bot lane from Boysen could have first move, and he kind of got trapped there overreaching for that skull, and that's really not what you want when you do have a team comp that wants to snowball, that wants to create this chaotic game state where you are really ahead and where champions like the Akali, like the Kai'Sa can just tear through the enemy. But now they're looking at a bit of gold deficit. It's 1k gold 5 minutes into the game, which is quite substantial this early, and most of that gold is also on the carries for Boysen crucially. So now you're looking at Malmö City. What can they do? Can they come back? They kind of have to play. I want to say normally just slow the game down. Play slowly. Look for mistakes, but they still have the snowball, Patrick. So I felt like they might just have to try again.
You might, at some point, try to force plays that aren't necessarily that great for you, but you would have to take those risks. And also, just a quick thing: is the production able to fix the placement of the ADC and mid on the Malmö City side? Of the alright, so we'll have to stick with that. But now, wrong.
We have a bit of a fight here. The taunt is popped. The Bolt Breaker is being charged by Ill. He goes in. He's in the midst of 3 people. He's now stunned up, but he's not taking too much damage yet. But now, Was is turning onto him. Cheesy is trying to save the jungler, but he drops first. And now Was is ignited. He has to run away. He's able to get out on King. He's full HP. He's Ezreal. Will he go for it? No. He's playing it safe. And that's just a free kill picked up for the side of Malmö City.
Alright, that is a kill for Malmö City. Sadly, they aren't healthy enough to start up the Drake to get that objective. They will just take that camel, probably reset, try to go for the grabs and match the Vi on the top side. But that's a really nice kill pickup. It didn't look that promising in the beginning, but I guess they managed to come out on top with that fight. And as we see now, Vi starting the grabs and Pantheon being on the lead, or will he be able to get the time to wrap the grab so that he cannot get the all 3 for that stack on the feats of strength? Because we see already now Boysen have that feats of warfare stack on them, so they just have to get another one, which is either 3 objectives or the first tower to get those boots upgrades.
Yeah, boots upgrades, it feels nice. It's a bit of maybe a placebo buff, as we've all remember, not like in the early days when the season released and everyone was losing the mounts of these reboots, but they're nice to have nonetheless, especially if you can get them. But I think the bigger thing here is why you're getting the boots, as we see 3 grubs being secured, multiple kills for Boysen. They're really winning out on this objective game early. Now, no team has secured a dragon just yet. This is an objective that's 7 minutes. It's not unheard of not taking first Drake on spawn, but we're starting, once we get to that 8-10 minute mark, it's going to be quite late dragon, which means that dragon stacking might not be a good strategy, and that's gonna be hurting Malmö City quite well, because if the game drags on, if they haven't stacked dragons, they will not win out in these late game fights. They still need to be on the pounce. They need to be on the lookout for mistakes from Boysen's side, because they need to get ahead, remember, and if they do not, it's gonna be a really nice game for Boysen.
It will be indeed. And now, speaking of taking grabs, I have a really fun fact.
Oh, you might have to wait with that, because now we are playing Cheesy. It looks like he was making the play, but he's the one getting caught. But the Yono just misses from Abby. That's not what you want to see. And Paul is just dancing around. He's trying to play the next caps, but he is failing miserably. And that's a 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
1-for-1 in the mid lane. Akali being too aggressive, in my opinion. She had that ultimate to just go back after the Yona ult did not connect, but she tried to fight and get another kill, which did not happen, and she's now put O2, and that, instead of being a good trade for them, is just a 1-for-1. But they tried to start a break, and I'm not sure if that is the correct play, because we see that the support of Boysen is there early on the map, and they see there's a TP as well, and we see how that fight is.
Yeah, there's a big fight, almost, but Thermo, good flash over the wall, ends up getting out, but this does mean that Dragon will be secured by Boysen. Oh wait, we're not done, as Pog is looking for maybe a bit more, but his team is not here. They've backed off, so this is a very questionable play from Pog. He's getting low, but the Q is dodged away from, and he just managed to barely survive.
The taunt connected perfectly on that Akali. I thought it was a free kill, but Yone, where did that Q go? I saw it flying out my window, I think. Oh my god, my guy, you do not miss those.
Hey, Abby is not really in form. Maybe he's still warming up, you know, a lot of skill shots and ultimates being missed, but he'll get back into it soon as was. You know, with that standing still is the best type of juke, but now he's standing still right in the face of a Vi, but he looks like it's working out, but that bit of killer instincts maybe wasn't too killer at all, but it looks to be working out. That frostbite makes the bomb just so sticky, and GC ends up going down. I can't even speak because now there's a fight in the mid lane, and Poke trading a bit there with Abby, but they keep going. But he took the, but then now the Q hits this time, and Abby with the outplay is redeeming himself, and it's now 2-0 and 3.
Abby with the perfect interruption of the second part of the Akali ultimate, just denying the damage and fade away Q, dashing away, just saying bye bye, see you later.
Bye bye, skill shop. Anywho, now speaking of skill shop, Yone now has Bork, and it's 10 minutes into game. That champion is going to be really, really scary, and I don't see anyone from the side of Malmö City being able to match him now in a side lane. He's already looking for top lane, but maybe he's just going for a ward. Yeah, Ezreal is moving mid though, so I would assume he would go and try and push a side right about now.
Yeah, Yone being put on side and after hitting that one item prospect. Usually, I'm the type of guy to say every game is winnable, but you have Yone with Borg at 10 minutes. I think I mean, if there was ever an FF angle, that might be the FF angle. I feel like.
I mean, I don't know. I think you need to work on your solo queue mental here. I mean, we're still very even in gold. We haven't gotten that far. Yes, Yona's ahead is bad, but we've seen this game that mistakes are happening from Boysen, and Malmö City is quick 2 pounds. And now is this another mistake? The glacial feature is good, but Abby is just free hitting on walls. He can't really get into this fight at all, and this is 80 carry life if I've ever seen it. He's forced to flash away, but GC is already dead, and this but looked very good for BB in the beginning. It now ends up with disaster as they have to give up the objective, and that's 3 grubs being countered by with Malmö, or Malmö countering with 3 grubs. Why? Hello, grammar?
Yes.
Work?
Anyway, I love how I cast the curse every time. I just said that there's an FF angle and Malmö City picks up a good fight and takes the grubs. What can I say? I'm doing my magic.
But never FF. Never FF. I am on the ASAP. I'm on the ASAP. Never FF.
You're the ASAP. Yeah.
No, but to be honest,
the no FF guy, I just like to joke around about,
oh, but look, Walls is going in, but he has Polk for backup. This might have worked, but he's taking so much damage, but it's not enough. As Einstein, you know, went a bit too far up, but now the cross map is coming out from Boysen. They saw 3 members spawn, so now they're going on Rugrat, but he's a tanky chokeout. Will he escape? No, he will not, because GC is here with the top and secures the kill, and Abby gets another kill on a silver platter, and this Joan is getting so fed.
Easy, just there in time to get that last CC, not being able to escape from the chokeout. He didn't have flash, so that was pretty much a guaranteed kill, but I was very shocked when I saw that Kai'Sa just using her ultimate forward when the Akali was not that close yet. We saw that she almost got one shot, being 3 levels behind on that rumble at the time. But I guess in the end it worked out, and I think that this is a good trade because Cho'Gath, he doesn't mind dying, you know, he's a tank, he's alright. And I think I cursed in the draft by saying you don't want to build too much HP this game when you're Cho'Gath, and he went close for Hersey and another Ruby Crystal. Yeah, this Cho'Gath will be one-shotted, and he will just say, oh my god, how am I getting one-shot when I'm a tank? Yeah, because you build HP and they have percent HP damage, my guy.
Yeah, but also if we're looking speaking of walls, he's going for this sort of crit Kai'Sa build that has been gaining in popularity recently, and while it might be very good for damage share for his team in this particular game, this means if he's not going to be able to build out Terminus for those defensive stats, and I think against the Rumble, Vi and Yone not going for a more defensive oriented build might end up hurting. He has to play so perfectly positioning wise in these team fights because he can take so little damage.
I think it comes really down to the damage distribution in this particular game, but I think the crit Kai'Sa has been really good. I think the Yunta is still a very good, great item for AD carries. And this game, I really don't mind her going for the crit build, especially since she has a lot of setup with the Braum, with Pantheon.
I might
see.
Patrick, I have a tendency to, I don't speak about much, but on my main champ, I'm very invested in builds. and I play a lot of Kai'Sa, and I feel like on-hit 80 Kai'Sa is great for damager, defense stats, and you can buy a board, which is great when you're against other board champions. So you can kite them a lot, but I have to stop as there's a big fight. That's a great Rumble ultimate. It's just burning through Malmö City, but it's not enough as they're turning around. And Wasp, maybe he heard what I was saying because he wants to show why he is in the game and I am not, because he just picks up a big kill on that Ezreal. He's now 3 kills up now. Can they get more? Abby is desperately trying to save his team, but he's not enough. And he's going right into Rugrat's face, and that's another shutdown going over to Was, and he is now getting super fed.
That fight was very crucial for Malmö City. They pick up some very great kills, have a really good setup, and Boysen, they lost themselves in this situation, and we see that they have not gotten anything from that. And now going back a little bit to where you were with the build, I am very sorry. I get also a lot of hate for this, but I am a fair big fan of the one and the only LS, and I am the type of guy that when you will talk something about a specific champion, I would be like, well, actually, in this particular game, considering this, and that, actually, that one build is more correct in like 25% of the game. So what he's doing is actually better than what you think.
Okay, but
But
I don't.
but
I make up my
yeah.
own mind. I don't listen to streamers. You know.
He is not a
Yeah.
streamer. He
I
is,
might be loyal or pleb, but at least I have my own opinion.
of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I am just a fair member of the Church of LS, and sometimes I agree with a lot of his takes, but sometimes I also can have my own opinion and disagree on whatever he says. But in this particular case, I will just say, well, actually, you know that Blade of the Ruined King got very nerfed for ranged champions, and in this game, actually, Pantheon is the one that can build it because his W can effectively apply it very fast. So Kai'Sa can actually just build crit.
Hey, mister, I believe you. But moving on from builds, we have had a lot of action in this game, and maybe we'll have some more around this Rift Harvest, because both team, they are posturing. We have a TP is being channeled right here, and both teams, they're looking for it. But this, look at mid lane. Look at Team Malmö City. They are having this mid power, which means that Boysen, they have to respond or risk losing this mid lane turret. There's a lot of ship damage, but they managed to rotate back in, and that was some great dancing, you know, herald dancing coming out from Malmö City.
They playing a little bit of that game of just, you know, cat and mouse when, you know, Boysen, they try to get that herald. That Malmö City, they go to the mid lane, they threaten to take the mid tower, so that they force them to either you trade the herald for the mid tower.
Oh, though we have a bit of a fight, though. Well, see, he's feeling himself. Killer Instinct is popped early. Cheesy is just left by his team, and he is just gonna die. And this Kai'Sa is just getting super big. And that's another kill. He's now 5, 2, and 6. And we talked about it, Malmö City, that they have to snowball if they want a chance. They went from 1k gold down to now almost 2k gold up, with most of this gold is on the Pantheon, on the Kai'Sa, right where you want them in this game. And Malmö City, we doubted them. We thought that, you know, this draft is going to be very tricky, but they're proving us wrong and proving once again why comfort is king in Seoul.
Comfort is king indeed, and when it comes to things like that, I really like that the Malmö City, they did not get scared and try to play for something more safe, something more standard. They believe in themselves, they believe in their champions and in their picks, and they're going for it. And now with
Yone is in trouble though. AB is popping the D, but the problem with that spell is that he has to return, and that's a great Q coming out from Rugrat, and he picks up a kill. So yeah, top laners getting something at least in this game, but that will be so, honestly, that kill, you know, normally I don't thank team against not there, but I have to pause that as the assault and battery is being popped in mid lane, and IWOMS is just getting destroyed. Not what she could do there. And now maybe the Brom is in trouble though, but that unbreakable will keep him alive for now.
Yes, and there is so much going on right now. Yone, actually, that's pretty funny now that I see that ever since Yone bought that Borg and we saw that he was going to be really strong, I think he just died. There's nothing more. Everything's that happened.
I mean, sounds like the Yona is the only, Yona should either go 0-9 or they get
Solo
fed,
queue
and then
moment.
and then like, I'm gonna carry, I'm 3-0, and then you just die. You know?
Yeah, like that's the moment when you play Yona in solo queue, you will get ahead early, you get your first item, and you're like, okay, guys, I'm 1v9, I will carry, and then you just keep on dying after saying that.
Yeah, dying, keeping on dying indeed, but it looks like something else is dying. It's the bot turret that's gonna go over to Malmö City, and yeah, they are just getting further and further ahead in this game. We now have a 3k gold lead. So slowly but surely, Malmö City is just steadily increasing that gold lead. And we will now have to see, they needed to snowball. They have to snowball. Now, how do they go forward from here? Can they keep the snowball going? They certainly look like they start picking up 2 turrets in quick succession with the use of that Shelly Bop.
Mr. Production, we had a solo Bono in the top lane. Yona dying once again to the this
Oh,
time to
no.
the chokeout.
Please. No, I've seen this too much. So look, the Yona syndrome might be very strong, but him dying there means that with this TP, this should be a free dragon going over to the side of Team Malmö City. And yeah, what looked like a bit of a, maybe one-sided series initially has been turned on its head, and Malmö City is just getting further and further ahead in this game.
Malmö City is having the game in their hands now that Ogaf, even though I must say that I thought he would be struggling just building 4 HP as Yona, but he managed to follow now.
Yeah, now it looks like Boysen, they're trying to do something. They're trying to get something back, and the assault and battery is good on the walls, but that's great flash timing. And Cheesy Stan United was just a bit too late. Boysen, they're not done yet. That's a 3-man toll on Cheesy. He's gonna lose his life for it, but it's what we call GG worth to death, as the rest of his team can clean up the fight, and that's a big shutdown going over to Abby.
What can I say? In that case, you would most likely say, guys, it's okay, no one important died. But I, as a support main, I say #support lives matter, guys. We sacrifice ourselves way too much in this scenario, but we see now Boysen, seeing that, realizing that Malmö City is too far up on the map, getting that TP in the bot lane, having the team just follow up and get the picks that they necessarily need to come back into this game. Now the gold deficit is not as big as it was before, and you still have the gold on the carries that you really need. Now we see that Yona has picked up his first kill ever since he got the Borg. Ooh, no, not 3-3 anymore. Now he's 4-3. Great.
Yes, he got the kill. He got another item. He's hopefully over the hump when it comes to, if you can get to the 0-10 power spike, but having some kills, 4-10 is still better than 0-10 power spike.
I mean, of course. Well, it really depends, because having that 0-10 power spike, then after reaching that point, you just become unstoppable. But 4-10, no, it doesn't sound as great, Doesn't sound as great. But, we take those, can't complain. As long as...
Yeah, you go ahead, sir.
No, but I was just about to say that if he does his job, of course, then it would be alright. Now Yona has picked up his second item, going for the shield ball. Pretty standard Yona build for now. Will probably try to get that second crit item to get to the 100% crit chance because of the buffs on his passive with the critical strike damage. And now we will probably, at least hopefully, see some more of that low gameplay from both sides, just trying to get those waves in, trying to set up for upcoming objective, because we have Dragon in 2.5 minutes, and we have the Baron, actually, first Baron spawn of the game in 1 minute and 20 seconds. We're going ahead, and we see Boysen hovering around that mid lane, trying to get that mid tower, but now Yona being in a bit of trouble once again, and
yeah, he's gonna have to have some fancy feet, but he doesn't. He just keeps on dying, just indeed, and that Cheese is trying to get something back, but he's forced to flash away, and that's just a lot of blue I'm seeing, and not a lot of red, and the reds keep falling, and all of a sudden it's an ace coming out for Team Malmö City.
All right, I guess we are Blue Dabu Diba Dubai or whatever that song goes. And we see Boysen just after having a good play, they have another play where they just mess up so bad, wasting those summoners and dying even then. And there is just a clean ace from the side of Malmö City. They might not be a good part of Sweden, but at least they are good at League of Legends.
Little Malmö, man. They undeserved the amount of hate. I would say.
Nah, being a part of Denmark is already a good reason enough to get hate. I'm sorry.
They're not a part of Denmark. They're Swedish since like several hundred years ago. No?
I am sorry, but as a person that have not lived in Sweden his whole life and has learned only Swedish through like the people that speak the correct Swedish in most of the parts of the country. When I go to Malmö, sometimes I don't understand what people are saying. So I feel like
I mean, that's true.
I'm sorry.
The Malmöitis guy is a bit weird, but you know, Malmö was founded in the 1200s and then it became a Swedish state in 1658. You know? So it's been over 300 years now. It's been in a city that we are as part of Sweden. So, you know, at what point do you not become Danish? Who knows? But I guess they have been Danish technically longer or about the same soon. But technically no longer Danish than Swedish, but we're getting there. Almost over the hump. So that was a sidebar. We also have a Baron fight. I should probably talk about that. But TPs are being channeled for both teams as BB is looking for that Baron. Will they get it? No, it's secured by Malmö City, but at what cost? Can they clean up the fight? It's looking good for them so far. Polk is trying to do some action, but it seems to be enough as Wiz is just free hitting on this backline, and this Hezroll can't do much to compete, and they're just getting destroyed on the map. The Goldie, the wallets are just so big, and now Abby, that's a 4-man ultimate. Will it be enough? No, it will not. The silence screamed, and this is an ace and a double kill for the side of Malmö City.
5-man again for the Malmö City. Another clean ace, and now Baron being picked up. Sadly, the Boysen tried to trade in for the mid tower, but that was not it. They all just died in that situation, and Malmö City getting that Baron, getting another ace. That just puts them closer and closer to the win, and now we have the Baron power play fueled by Rock Energy, guys.
Yay! Gotta remember that, indeed. Or we see how much fuel the side of Malmö City has, you know, to sort of look to finish up this game. They are ahead. They're getting the third dragon of the game. The gold lead is up 10k. I mean, this is the games type of games that we talk about. You cannot lose, but is there anything that Boysen can do in this state, Patrick?
I think now how Malmö City wants to play is that they want to put some pressure on the sidelines, and that's where Boysen will try to go for that pick to maybe see somebody overextend on the sideline, like this Akali, for example.
They're trying to get Polk, and the CC chain is good though. He can't even move, and that's a great pick coming out from Boysen. I mean, you called it.
As I mentioned, you know, you have to look for people overextending on the sideline, and just as I mentioned it just happened. That Akali, yeah, like, he is just, maybe I wouldn't use the word greedy, but he's too ambitious. Let's say that. Let's put it more nicely.
Yeah, but this is also ambitious from Wales, but a bit too ambitious as well. As he doesn't get a kill, and he's now kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. He's forced to flash, but he's still taunted. But the Stand United is good, and Termo, you know, I just think of that meme when they carry is the lamb running back into the water, and he's trying to, you know, just make them not go back, you know, go back to the surface. His support is just saving the ADC, and he is just going in, making style plays. It's like, oh, I'm gonna die, and the support's like, nope.
Braum coming in clutch, what can I say? That's usually what happens. AD carry is like, look at me now, I need that WSK, so I'm gonna use my killer instinct, I'm gonna one-shot this guy, and then you're like in the middle of 5 people, and your support has to just come in, pat you on your shoulder and be like, yeah, grandpa, let's put you back to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. But we look at Was, he has 3 items on this class. I think he can afford to play a bit cocky, but will he do too much? He's burned 2 summoners and he's one of the main carries of his team. This could be an angle as that Vile ultimate is off cooldown. That Assault and Battery is a guaranteed CC, and with no flash and no barrier, Was has to be so careful as we see the Baron timing out on the side of Malmö City, and they can't really push for a lot more. They have a lot of major cooldowns that are about to come up, but flashes are down, so they are vulnerable right now, and I feel like they realize that as they're kind of just taking the resets and they got a couple of turrets, they're just gonna be happy with that. And this, however, does mean the Boysen finally can leave their base.
Boysen have gets a bit of room to breathe indeed, and Malmö City just utilizing that Baron to the fullest, being able to just to get the final push, get the Baron recall, play with their tempo that they do have right now. And we see now that the next objectives are spawning at pretty much the same time. We have the Baron spawn and the Dragon spawn, and we'll see if there is going to be a potential trade-off, because I think Malmö City might just look for the Baron and give the one Drake away to Boysen. If they decide that they probably cannot contest and they will just try to trade and map or if the Boysen will be in the position where they feel like they're desperate to do anything, there will be another banner fight coming up in another 1.5 minutes from now.
There will be another Baron fight coming up indeed, and I feel like that should be the final one. We do have the 4th Drake spawning here very soon. That Dragon Soul would be something that I look for, or I presume rather, but in a bit, will, Mamas would wait for that, Dragon, or will they just go for Baron and try and end the game, or maybe even end the game with no objective?
Well, actually, now that we have a bit of room to breathe, I can mention that there is a funny stat that is right now in the LCK during the season, that teams that take less objectives on the top side of the map, being Herald and Traps, not Baron, actually have a lower percent win rate than the teams that try to go and stack dragons, which is a very weird statistics, to say so. But right now, fight.
We see a bit of a fight, and Ill is just forced to use that ultimate early, but he's just gone. And that the jungle already down for Boysen. But can he turn it around? Abby with a great ultimate is turning this fight around, and crucially, the Kai'Sa is down. He's dead now. Polk, can they turn back around? It looks like the mid-jungle duo is stepping up, and then we have Progress, who's just a raid boss, and Abby. That was a great attempt, but you cannot outskill the Cho'Gath as he just right-clicks you down. And what looks initially like a good fight for Boysen ends in disaster, and that's a team fight win and maybe game win for Malmö City.
Another big fight for Mama City. Boysen trying their hardest to get on those carries to be able to turn the game around. This time they succeed to pick out that Kai'Sa, but we have another members. We have that Pantheon doing quite a lot of damage. We have that Akali just being able to one-shot multiple members of the team. The Boysen in that fight. And will they just try to go for the end with the death timers being around 10-15 seconds on some members? And I don't think that's enough to be able to defend that base. And I think the Nexus is going down. And the people from the Malmö City, they are coming on top in game 1. The underdogs take it in this series. The first point goes to them.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, what a shake-up in the series. We thought Boysen were going to be the clear favorites, and it looked good for them initially, but then it all just went to a very not nice place for them, as they just got kind of stomped by Malmö City.
I think it came down from what I saw on the mini map out of the times where they got that little bit of gold lead early when they had a 1000. They felt pretty confident, and you could see that on with their moves on the map that they were feeling confident. and maybe a bit too confident, as then later on, Malmö City, even though they were in the deficit, they found those little mistakes that Boysen did and managed to bounce back and get that goal lead and start snowballing the game. And Boysen, like, it just got out of their hands pretty much. Like, they, like, I wouldn't say this game, it might sound harsh and it might be uh, really, it might sound mean what I'm about to say, but I feel like this game, it's more Boysen losing than Malmö City winning the game, if you know what I mean in that context.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I feel like now that you post, then you. I feel like the draft was good, so I don't think that's what they need to change, but it definitely needs to do a bit of a reset. And, you know, if you're Boysen, is there anything you would change coming into the next game after a game like this?
I think your drafts are pretty good, for sure. That's something that I would not change. And I feel like this game they had a draft that came on top, and I think they had the better team composition. It's just about I see a lot of similarities to Verak Sky as that if you get that lead early, you cannot be overconfident and you cannot think that you are untouchable if you are ahead because you will at one point make mistakes and some of the mistakes will be crucial. And if you just stay competent that you know that you are uh, winning and outscaling later on, you just have to be able to play it slow. Don't be too overconfident. Don't be cocky. Don't try to just extend your lead over and over and just be like, sit down, relax. You get that maybe you watch out for enemy mistakes. You get that lead whenever you can, and then you just like you chill, you farm up, you get your items, and at one point of the game, if you are even or slightly ahead, you will be stronger than the enemies no matter what.
Yeah, I think patience is the name of the game for Boysen, but I think for Team Malmö City, I think cocky is the name of the game. Just keep being cocky, keep taking the plays and putting the pressure on your opponents because you seem to have been working, even though there were some missteps as well. But I mean, well played to them for sure, and we'll see if they will be able to replicate their performance in game one going into the next game. I believe we're going right back into the game, so there probably won't be too much of a pause for you guys. So soon, we're gonna have to go into game two in this series semi-finals with Team Malmö City and Boysen. But meanwhile, you can now vote on player of the game in chat, and I already see a lot of people are clicking on the obvious choice, the AD carry. 2 votes already. We can see. Oh, I
Yeah,
think it's finished. It's only 2 votes, and it's only ADC. Good. We don't need uh, more votes. It's always the AD carry.
I'm glad that the mid laner didn't get it. I would not be able to give it to him after what he did early game, especially with that mid lane action. He just took every E that he hit on the guy, and he did not think. He just said, "Screw that, we balling, we going in. I don't care. Whatever happens, happens."
Yeah, he just went, did his own thing, but it didn't matter for the end of the game. They still won. And I'm interested to see if for game two, I think Malmö City is just going to run it back. If it ain't broke, don't fix it type of mentality. While boys, I mean, they can go with the same draft, but they definitely need to step up, at least play wise. Maybe I feel like they were caught sleeping a bit now early. They don't really. They had a good setup early where they used Prio and they got a good skirmish there in the bot lane, but after that, I feel like they just followed the tempo of the enemy team and didn't really find their own footing in the game.
Yeah, I really agree with you, and I feel like uh, as I mentioned, they are very two different team, and I feel like when Malmö City is trying to play that super aggressive YOLO Ooga Booga team compositions. uh, uh, Like Boysen will just want to find that patient and not get lost in the chaos that Malmö City is trying to create if they want to bounce back in the series. And now I just have a quick question to But actually, if we know what side the Boysen picked for game one, if they are sticking with red side or if they going over to the blue side, if we have that information.
If you get your information eventually there, Patrick. But while we're waiting for that, and
All right, so we have info that
yes,
Boysen is staying on red side, which I'm like, all right, I can see that they don't want to change too much. I like that because I believe that they should also believe that we did not do anything wrong in terms of drafting, and we try to play the same thing because we believe in our strat that it's good. We just have to play it better. We just have to play the same thing, but play it better this time.
yeah, playing better. I mean, easier said than done, I feel like. But yeah, nothing is said and done. We're gonna have to see, was game one a fluke for the side of Malmö City, or can they replicate this in game two, or will Boysen Boysen step it back up and keep this series alive, if you will? This is a best of three, remember, so it's only 2 games wins that are needed for the series to be concluded. So now Boysen Boysen, they're on the ropes. The last 2 series, or the last series they played, they 2-0, but they did have a 2-1 against Svenska Legendarna. So they are no strangers, at least in the recent matches, to being kind of in this position. But we'll see if he bounce back here in game two. From your own experience playing, and I've played a bit in a lot of teams, I feel like when you go, I always felt better going 1-0 down. Like, I feel like so many games where we were just better than our opponents, and then we kind of fumble game one, and then you're like, okay, game one's over, and then you're like, now nerves are gone, so now we just play normally, and then you just
Uh,
stomp. But that was me.
for me, it was a pretty similar experience, but it was a bit differently. It's like when you lose that game one, you are just put against the wall, like it's do or die. And I feel like for me, working under pressure is where I am best performing, no matter what it is. So when you're put in the position where you're 0-1 down in a best of three, you're like, okay, we cannot lose anymore. That's our thing. We just go in with the mentality that we need to win no matter what. And that's what I feel like it's when we can perform the best.
But I feel like the reverse is probably why I prefer the other one. Is because when you win game one, you're like, it always happens. Like when I play well in the solo queue game, I play well early, and then I start emptying mid game. It's because then I'm like, oh, I've done my hard part now. Now I can relax, and then just start inting. And I feel like that happens when you win game one. You're like, nice, we have 1 game buffer. Now I can just chill, and then you just start inting. The enemy wins, and then you're like, oh fuck, we actually have to try again. Oh no. So we'll see if
Yeah,
Malmö City can, still be zoned in, stay, business as usual, or if they're gonna be like, nice, we have this buffer. Now we can take a bit chill. Don't have to try as hard. And, then they might end up being bitten in the ass because one team is cornered while the other one is complacent. Makes for not a great combo if you want to
I,
win a clean series.
I feel like the looking at how the game one went, I feel like Malmö City is the team that when they get the lead, they don't lose it. They're just like rolling on they keep on snowballing. And I feel like now that they are 1-0 up, they have more motivation and more drive to just be like, all right, we are 1-0 up. We are the underdogs. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's finish it 2-0. We got this.
We'll see if they do have it indeed as we're getting into draft, and we see a very similar bands as game one. Nothing too much changed. That Mundo, Poppy, and Aurora still being taken off the board,
So
respectively.
far,
And
same bands.
it's to be expected, right? We didn't. I mean, the draft wasn't really the problem. It's with Boys and Boys, and I think if you're, Malmö City as well, they won with their last pick, so they're not too afraid. I think they're just banning what they don't want to play against right now. I feel like, and yeah, can you blame them, Patrick? You agree with the strats? Not too many
I
changes.
mean, I can't blame them. As I mentioned, I think they should believe in themselves and be like, the strat that we have is good. that we just made too many mistakes and we have to fix our errors in the gameplay itself, not in the draft or anything composition.
Yeah, but someone who is changing it's Malmö City with Varus first pick instead of the Pantheon this time around, and they're keeping us on our toes. They're like, we played one team comp now. We need to play something else. So
I
Varus and
mean,
yeah.
it can indicate a similar type of team comp because when you have that virus, you can go for the pick composition as you had the previous game of Kaisa with Pantheon, etc. That you have that one that you go for picks early because you have that virus ultimate that is sort of like a main engage tool that you can just press that button, it's sort of like brain dead button. You're just like ooga booga, let's press my ult. If I hit, we go and we one shot one guy. If I don't, okay, let's wait for the next cooldown and try again.
Yeah, you gotta rinse and repeat. But Karma being locked in early boys, but so both teams opting for completely different starts to the draft late. And Sin Sao, ooh, that's a classic. I hate playing against it. I think it's super dumb as an AD carry main because it presses R and I just don't do anything. But at least Varus doesn't have that much of a problem. He still has that ultimate. He can still be useful, even with that, ultimate being popped and has to think at the moment it's fearless. Okay, fair enough. Oh, it's
I,
fearless.
I mean,
No, Rogaf is
it's not
picked.
it's not fearless, but
Oh,
I wish it was fearless because I love fearless draft. But shout out to
yeah.
Boysen or whoever is in their coaching staff because you have Xinzao, you pair it with an enchanter, and he can just 1v9. If you pair Xinzao with an engage, he is not as effective as he could be. He is probably the strongest bruiser jungle with the enchanter buffs that any of them can get with those enchanter items. And we see now Lyra, which is a very, very interesting pick, most likely going to the jungle position because that's where she is ending up mostly, but still can go to the support and playing with that double range matchup, trying to match that poke from the Caitlyn, the Karma lane that we expected because Boysen have played that lane before, have played that matchup in the bot lane. Trying now, I thought they would go for a similar type of composition, but now we see a very, very strong, very much early agency on bot lane with that a double range pick, and they are going heavy now to play for that bot side.
I'm wondering what they're gonna go with. The Syra jungle we've seen mostly, but I mean, can Syra not block like a Karma Q with her plants? It could be a very nice support angle. I don't remember who wins out. I feel like Karma, but I'm really biased in Karma. I just feel like humans. Maybe lane almost, because that Mantra Q is
Yeah,
a
like
spell.
I feel like you just can't lose it because you press that one button and it sort of auto wins you the trade if you hit it every time.
Yeah, I'm gonna make up if there is no swords, I'm gonna make up a swords as well and set Karma always wins. Karma is bullshit.
Yeah,
But
when it's sad
moving,
when you can just go out of feeling.
yeah, moving on. We have the second round of bans in mid being focused on both sides. It's kind of similar to us. Mid support ban again from Boys and Boys. I think it was Fresh and Vex last game. Now it's Akali and Leona. So they gonna keep with that pattern banning, while Morfight and Syndra being answered from Malmö City. A lot of spread here on what roles are being focused from both teams here in the second ban phase. No real pinch targeting just yet, so probably just banning out some power picks that they do not want to face. But now Warden is open and it is locked in. So it's a blind pick top red side. This top laner never gets to counter pick red side for Boysen
What do you
Boysen.
mean? There is the Cho'Gath for the pick.
I mean,
Problem.
okay. True. But, oh, fuck. Oh,
Nah,
okay, fine.
you're
I can see
tweaking.
it.
You're tweaking.
It's fine.
It's fine,
No,
guys.
no, no
Nobody
one
saw that.
saw.
Nobody heard that.
Nobody saw. It's fine. It's
No.
Cho'Gath. It's Cho'Gath carry. It's fine. They're gonna pick a Senna, and it's gonna be
Oh,
fasting Cho'Gath. But
Vladimir blind pick.
ooh, I've heard rumblings about this pick. I've heard it's very, very strong right now. So it's being locked in for Malmö City, and they're going for their champion. This is looking quite scary. At the moment, we still have to see. Will this be the Syra support as we've talked about, or will it go to the jungle? This
Wait.
last pink will reveal it. Wait, says Patrick. It's Lulu, so it is
Lulu.
the Syra jungle. So Lulu Varus. Interesting.
Lulu is being picked. I get to cast the game where my main is picked. I love it.
With
We
your
love it.
Lulu main. Oh,
I'm a Lulu main. Yes, I am
yeah.
I am that type of guy that goes into the solo queue games. I pick enchanters and then people name me and call me eager when I'm just a silly little boy playing my enchanter champions.
Fair enough.
But
I mean,
but
I
now,
like,
yeah,
I like Lulu. I'm a Twitch main, so I won't complain. But they usually
you like
suck. All my Lulus are bad. They can't press E or W.
yeah,
So
but
fine.
but now I wonder if Malmö City is able to pull it off because now you have Ornn in the top lane. You might see the strat that you put the Vladimir against the Ornn to just free scale and you put the Cho'Gath in the mid lane instead because we've seen people get that Cho in the mid lane instead and Vladimir has a pretty free lane on top to just free scale
Yeah,
versus that one tank and Cho'Gath would not complain going into melee matchup versus that Sylas. Although Sylas has some really great ultimates that he can
yeah.
pick out from the side of Malmö City, so but I'm really interested to see where those two picks end up because I feel like if you really want the strongest matchup for yourself, you would want to put that Vlad in the top lane and move the Cho'Gath away to the mid instead.
But before I give you my take, don't forget, guys, to vote in chat on who you think won draft. The poll is now live. I'm a bit split on this one. For some reason, my feelings-based argument is just like Vladimir, very scary. So I favor Malmö City, but I actually think Boys, they have a bit more conventional. They do have some tools to get ahead, but honestly, I think Malmö City. I think I'm going to vote for Malmö City. I think they have more, clear win conditions in their team. They aren't as reliant on getting ahead as I feel like Boysen are because they are quite a low damage team. If that Caitlyn does not get items, doesn't get Roly, they suddenly will lack a lot of damage in these team fights. And with a Lulu, this Vlad and Cho'Gath will probably be very hard to kill. So I feel like the clock is kind of on Boysen in this game, and they really need to make stuff happen. They really need to make sure that this Caitlyn gets ahead because otherwise I struggle to see how they win up on some of these later game team fights.
Yes, sir. I feel like now the roles sort of reversed, and my take on who won draft, I'm just gonna keep it short. It's Malmö City draft that I feel like is the greater one, and I'm gonna keep it simple and ask you. You know why?
Why? Tell me.
Because that draft indeed tasted purple.
Ah, I see. Well,
I'm sorry, I had to say it. I had to say it. I'm sorry.
you had to say that there is no Twitch pick, so I can't do all my. Especially if you pick, yeah, I'm not going into that, but he has a lot of voice lines, and I know some of them. Anywho, we definitely think Malmö City is going to win. It looks like with the poll 5-0 so far in Malmö City's favor. I mean, I'm an Eddie Caravan, so I think I'm just burned from Vladimir. Like, if Vladimir's ever gets, like, even close to being meta, like, that's just a champ that if he gets any lead in solo queue, he just can't do anything. He just kills everyone, and he doesn't die because he becomes a pool and just runs away,
Yeah,
and then just goes, fun, gameplay.
and
Uh,
especially now that there's this Vladimir build that people are going in the SCK, that's more sort of like an AP bruiser with the Rift Maker, with the Cosmic Drive that you just have no cooldowns. You are
oh.
tanky. You have Omnivamp, so you heal a lot, and you have the damage.
But you have to be tanky and deal damage because if you're just tanky, it's boring. That's Riot's philosophy these days, right? You can't just be tanky, right? We have to have damage and
Yeah,
tankiness. And if you only deal damage, then you're just squishy. So you need to have some defensive stuff as well. That's the entire design philosophy around Casante, and that's a great design.
very great design. We love Cassandra.
Not even
Who
in the
doesn't love
game, but
that?
you have to flame. I have to flame him. It's just like I was the type of player that was mad at Riven E back in the day because I thought a spell that gives you Riven E gives you, for those who know, gives you more shield when you have bonus AD. So a spell that gives you more defensive stats when you build offensive stats, I think is counterintuitive to game balance. But then a couple of years later, or many years later, they released Casante, and I just give up.
You know
You
what?
know,
Cassandra is just your wholesome little guy. He does a little bit of everything. He's style working on the Rift, Lena's X style, Uh, but what I was going to say is that uh, I feel like this game going into going on the Rift very soon. I don't see a place where Boysen will be able to get any sort of major advantage if Malmö City doesn't mess up big time. Because you gotta remember, you have pretty safe lanes, you have that Lulu, you have that Varus, you have the Vladimir, which is wants to just slow down, scale the SMS Togaf. You have that jungler of the Zyra that has very fast clear, has really good, will have early agency on the map because I'm pretty sure if you do the clear correctly, you will be faster on the Rift than the Zinzao on your first clear, which will put you in a spot where you can decide what you want to do on the map early. And that's something that's really scary for me. If you are Boysen, what do you want to do? Is that do you want to match the Zyra and end up on the same side as her, knowing that you will be slower? You will try to go for a potential counter gank, or will you just try to split the map and end up on the opposite side of the map?
Yeah.
And
And
as
with
you
that
say that,
said,
we are going
we're
to game.
going into game indeed. It's game 2 in the best of 3 semi-finals of Deal 3 between Boysen versus Malmö City, which is a city that resides in Sweden and has been Sweden for 300 years. Moving on, now both teams are running out of the map. We're excited to see some action. Who will come out ahead? Will we go to a game 3 or will Malmö City pull up the upset of this Deal 3 playoffs and advance to the finals?
Just like give Mama back to Denmark. That's what I'm gonna say.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
But yeah, he's
Well,
definitely he's Malmöit. He's a beautiful man. I'm defending Malmö honor. I'm not even from there, but I gotta be like defending the fellow caster, you know.
I hear you out. I know it's hard for you people, like it's hard for people from Spawn. I know, like it's I would say it's just bad RNG that you are from there. No,
Minions
nothing
have
else to say.
spawned.
Yeah. Well, I'm not from there. I'm from glorious Halland, but I lived in Skåne for many years studying, and I would say that I quite enjoyed my time. So it's a well-deserved part of our country. But moving on, we are in game, and right now we see standard 5 points from both sides. Not too many shenanigans, just as game 1. And now I think what decides this game for me: will we see lane swaps coming out? Will we have this Vladimir going into that top lane to get that fade in? It seems not. We have standardized lanes. And I think Malmö City, yeah, the good theory that Patrick come up with, it's too boring. It's too safe. We want action. We want to fight. And so they're just going standard lanes, and it's gonna be already some big trading in that mid lane as I see the heads pop down. But meanwhile, bot lane as well, that Karma Q just hits like a truck, and Watts has to back away and push. Seems to be secured for now by Boysen's bot lane.
Well, has been some trading in the boss side that really favors Boysen because even though you got more HP of both people from the side of Boysen, but you are Malmö City, you got all the poke that you want on that virus with specific one target, and that's what you were looking for, to put him in a position where he is ready to walk up, but he is scared to walk up because look at that, he's already around half HP point. Because Adulu, she's just a silly little enchanter. She'd rather shield herself than save the shield for the AD carry when the Kating or something. That's okay. We forgive her. Probably not if we are the ADC, but
Okay. I will never forgive sport. But Rugrat now on this Cho'Gath again, doing quite well, but he maybe have also overstepped a bit. Aberstein. Oh, he misses the W flash. A good flash from Rugrat. Now, can he turn it around? He has a grasp rock, but the juke on the Elstein. It's such a great play. And Elstein, though, he does have the HP. It's the pops are running. And crucially, he went door and shield. He has much more regen than Rugrat, and Rugrat is barely at HP left. He's forced to base. He's gonna miss out on so much XP. He's gonna force to use XP, but Anstein, he's not letting him recall. Rograt is losing so much. The wave is pushing away from him. This is disaster early for Rograt. As he just gotta look at the Shogath. He's so small. He hasn't grown yet. He's being bullied by this Forge God on the top lane. This is the most exciting tank v tank matchup I've seen in my entire casting career, probably. Maybe not, but you know, usually doesn't a lot happen, so I guess low bar. But now Raxi is here. He smells the blood. He's just trying to help Rograt out. Can he get the push out? The small little Shogath. He needs to grow into a full adult. And meanwhile, we see a bit of a push in the mid. But that's a great interrupt onto that charge. And that's first blood coming out for action. It was all a ruse. Rograt only looked weak to give first blood to his jungler. Great gank coming out from Raxi.
Meanwhile,
And we're back up. Yeah, we are above the little tempo. He's proper Wazzy. He's pulling the barrier, but it's so close, and they're kind of losing this Wazzy. Some 1 HP. Kingaru, he still has mana. He has little tempo proc. No, Lulu, what can she do? Not much, but mana is almost non-existent on Cheesy, so they won't be able to convert, but that looks scary. And look at this big wave though. If they crash this Wasp, if you don't catch it, it's gonna be so far behind. We already see 26 to 37 CS. He has to stay for this wave. But that's a Karma, that's a Caitlyn. It's so much poke. There is no barrier on Wasp. I don't think he can't live. He can't lose this XP, but if he stays, he risks dying. But the level 4 might be enough. And the turbo going for the one play he can do. He flash eats. Oh, it's so close. He almost gets it. Now Q, come on. The sniper elite is not there. Was the minions, the Karma, and the very broken. He goes down, and he ends up paying for his group. But now Raxi, fuck X, but. You know, he's looking for it, but he's not gonna get it. But the Abby is pulling a trade. But that's level 6 popped first on Polk. This might have been a mistake by Abby. He has the backup though. But with that level 6, Pocky with a great sidestep on that, wind becomes lightning. And now he's able to back out. And Abby, he went for a trade, but he did not have the level up timers in mind. So Polk ends up staying alive. And wow, it's such good early action coming out from this game.
I wouldn't say that action was too great, especially in the top lane. I swear to God, top laners. All I'm gonna say, who needs mechanics if you're playing this bad and then you have the OP jungle role coming in to save your ass? What's going on, you know?
No one is playing bad. We are completely unbiased. Everyone is playing perfect. Bad plays do not exist on live Kappa. No, but yeah, things are happening. I think tank v tank. There's a reason why tank v tanks happens for many teams. I'm sorry to say top laners. I know there are a few top laners that actually do pick tanks by choice. I will not understand these people, but they exist. But most of them are put on tank either because they have they're forced to, or because they cannot play anything else. But I know for a fact that you know, both these top laners have played other things than tanks. But Anstein, you know, he's seems like he's often on the weak side, but he's performing well on it so far. That's speaking of jungle, because that's another free jungle kill pick up. They're just farming that top side, but now flash into the strangled roots, into that ultimate, and it knocks up a king, but there's no damage. But there it is, the sniping, the barrel hits, and Wasp picks up a kill.
Really good pick up for the side of Malmö City, getting the 1 kill in the turn on the other side of the map. But going back to being a tank player, like, I feel like, you know, being a tank player is very poetic in a way, because tanks, especially tank players, are underappreciated because everybody wants to be that main character, everybody wants to be that carry, but those people pick up those tanks, they are just like the giga shots. They're just like, all right guys, it's okay, I will frontline for you, I will be the tank, I will just sit down, relax, and I will be the guy that just, you know, stands there in front of you, helps you, and just pats you on the shoulder and be like, good job, thank you AD carry for carrying my ass, I'm just there doing my job, standing in front of people.
You know, top lane tanks are the nice guys of League. They just do stuff, and they expect something in return. You know, people telling how nice of you, and then they get nothing. They sit alone in their house in the basement, that they don't get any friends or and they just left them not appreciated. You know, I just feel like it's such a thankless existence. They do so much for their friends, their team, and no one ever thanks them. But
Yeah, you know
speaking
what?
of that, Rugrat is gonna get a bit of a visit finally on this top side, but it's not the visit he wants. And he ends up getting another kill over to the jungler of Boysen. But now, bot lane action. It's a 2v3. GC is gonna be the sacrificial lamb once again, but that's a good net combo, but Wild Growth just nullifies all the damage, and that's a clean kill going over to Malmö City.
Indeed, and I feel like both teams sort of puts the lead where they want to have it. You put that Xin Zhao ahead on the side of Boysen. Meanwhile, you have those skills on the Zyra and on the Varus from the side of Malmö City. And going back, speaking of tank players, yeah, you know what they say. Nice guys who finish always finish last, you know.
Yeah, I know. I am a very nice person, but I'm so alone. I can never. No, I don't. Yes, I have a lot of friends. But moving on, we should not talk about this as we have a trade coming into the mid lane. Now, Poke is doing quite well in Davin. Both laners are sustaining quite well, but now it's not mid lane. It's not a 1v1 lane. It's a 2v1, but now both junglers here. But that's a flash from the Lulu, and I'm so gobsmacked by support just stealing kills that I can't say much more. Now Ultimate pulls out, but he's so snared up, he's stunned up. The flash might be enough. Ultimate is popped. He gets a trade kill, but he ends up paying for his life. It's a 1-for-1, but that's a shutdown going over to the Vladimir. It's just so much better for them. And wow, what looked very, very dangerous for Malmö City in the beginning ends up turning positive.
Beep, boop, boop, beep, beep. Hello, that's L9 calling. Yes, we are recruiting another mid lane player. That Vladimir, he just flashed in to die in front of the fucking Zinzao's face. What can I say more? That guy is doing a great job of trying to put his team into the defensive team. He's not making it obvious. That's really great for us.
Yes, very, very nice. No, I think he's doing a great job for though. You know, he's a Vladimir. It doesn't matter if he flashes for kills as long as he gets the gold. He will end up being a monster in the later stages of the game. And as the AD carry player, I'm very scared right now because Vladimir just got a shutdown. It's not what you want to see, but it's still even sort of gold. It's like barely 100 gold on the side on Malmö City, which is basically insignificant. But when we look at where the gold lies, we see that 2 of the carries, or 3 of the carries around Malmö City have gold, while on the side of Boysen, it's only Svenska that has been the beneficiary of these kills. So in terms of a team fight, it's just more efficient gold on the side of Malmö City. So they are more ahead than the gold league might see, and they're trying to use it now. Now, Il, he is the most fed member of Boysen, but he's caught with a rocket hospital. That's a great blast-gun usage. He ends up getting up. Call of the Forge God is used to do a bit of poke onto Raksha. He's gonna have to run away. He has no ultimate by now. Beast looked, but that's a great strangled roots. But he gets over anyway, and Tarimo is the sacrificial lamb. And that's a kill, and probably the grubs secured for Boysen.
That is indeed grubs secured for Boysen, and that pick up on the Lulu for the side of Boysen, getting that 1 kill. But we see in return Vladimir just pushing the side lane, being fine with just getting those minions, getting the XP, getting the gold. You don't lose actually that much. Surely you are put in a situation where you will be in red later on because you give the 6 grabs over to the side of Boysen. But now we see Vladimir being in a bit of a struggle against Silence, but
yeah, I think it's just that.
He just flashed in.
Yeah, and I guess Vladimir does become hasn't become the raid bot just yet, and Abby is still, you know, that's a very crucial side lane kill coming out there for Boysen. They definitely need their carries to get ahead. They can be able to contest some of these important objectives coming up, and as they're looking to posture for this dragon, those traps are going to be so important for creating zone control for Boysen. What can Malmö City do in response?
I think you are put in a situation when right now you know that the carries of Boysen, which is the Zinzao and the Silas, are put in a situation where they're really ahead. You just try to slow the game down.
They have to slow the game down, but the game is not slowing down because Boysen are using this dragon correctly, but that's a great wild growth and snare onto that since out to stop the kill, but the Drake did not reset. It's still up a poke. He's trying to make a hero play. The Hemo playing is stacking up. The pool is used. That's a good side roll. Hits on the 3 members. Navi is getting so low, and all of a sudden, Drake Pryo is taken by Malmö City. Can it good smite? It is good from Rakshi. He ends up securing a crucial dragon for his second of the game, and what looked like a free Drake from Boysen ends up just being wrestled away from them by the strong arm of Malmö City.
Yoink. That's what we call heal. I think right now, as the Zyra is making her way up to the top side, I think she just press that enter button / all chat and being like, yo guys, thank you for the leash, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank you for the leash you did. I mean, that's the ultimate strat. You just let the enemy team leash the all objectives for you and then just go and take it because you're just that Chad. But moving on, Malmö City, you know, they keep it being put in these sort of objectively weird situations where we think, oh, they're at a disadvantage, but somehow they just end up always coming out on top. Patrick, can you explain this to me? What's the analysis?
The analysis is that, you know, whenever somebody analyzes a game and some of the situations, that sometimes, even if the play necessarily doesn't look great for you, but if everyone is on the same page and everyone follows the call, it might end up being beneficial for you. Not always,
Yes.
but a lot of times it happens that even if the play is bad, if you are on the same page, you can still get a good outcome out of it. And if you are being Malmö City, you are those crazy guys that they do not care. They just go in with full confidence, being like, we want to fight you no matter what. I feel like that's where they just don't always take the fights and the objectives where it's 50-50. Sometimes they take the fight where it's 40-60.
Oh, speaking of fight, we have a bit of a fight in the bot lane. Sorry to interrupt you. Poke is getting revenge on Abby. He did have to call some help down, but that's a good, crucial kill going off to Vladimir, who is just continuing to scale in this game.
Not even close. That Vladimir never was even close to dying there either.
Oh, the chain of corruption dodged away from Bashisi. That's a play that was started, but I don't think he wants it. Wild growth will be a great deterrent. Then Neil has to back off, but that's a crucial cooldown. Now dying down from the side of Team Malmö City as Rockshad is in a lot of trouble. This Cho'Gath is having a bit of a hard time in this tank matchup, and the turret is going to be able to drop for the side of Malmö City. And Boysen says thank you very much as finally Oren gets to contribute.
Yes, Boysen getting out of the situation alive, not burning a lot, just using that wild growth. And I guess you can say that just because they didn't lose a lot on that play, you can say that it was enormous for them.
Yeah, and also we just got a raid from the Svenska Onlineligan. Thank you guys very much for the raid, much appreciated. But also now we're gonna go back into this game as I wish welcome to everyone. We have Boysen versus Team Malmö City, and Team Malmö City is now 1-0 up in this best of 3. It's do or die for Boysen. The ones that were looking like the clear favorites going into this game are now on the ropes, looking to fight for their tournament and Division 3 lives right here, right now. And so far, they're doing quite well, but now Poke is looking to change this. He's looking for this kill on Abby. Wildgrove is stolen away. It's Pop. It's buying a bit more time, but he's 3v1, and he's not long for this wall, and he ends up dropping now. What can Boysen answer back from this? They pop the Rift, all this mid-turret. Should it be theirs for the taking now? Can they get more? That is the question. With that bot lane play, it looks like Malmö City, they are so spread out. They're so far away. They cannot get back to this in time. This might even be 2 turrets secured for Boysen, but I might have been speaking too soon, as now finally the cavalry has arrived to this mid lane. Oh, I can't even stop talking because we have a fight. Call of the Forge God into the ace in the hole, and Ragrat. I mean, that's just cyberbullying at this point.
That is indeed cyberbullying at this point in the top lane, and we see now raids being done in the bot and mid. Meanwhile, that bot on the bot side, the Malmö City got the kill secured the turret, got the bot push,
Oh.
and on Boysen, got the mid tower, tried to get another one the mid lane with the Herald, but could not do it because Boysen got there in time. Now Karma being forced to flash away, and we see Dragon spawning as well, and before that happened, oh, we see another T, we see now TP being
Oh, we see TP imposed, clearing up corruption. There's a big fight erupting right around this dragon. It's looking even so far, but who will go out on top? I see a lot of red bars dropping, and it looks like Malmö will be the ones winning a big dragon fight. And just as we're shouting in the chat by the true Malmö faithful will be rewarded, as the Gothenburg people will have to sit down and wait their turn.
I'm just being bullied right now. I am really sorry for being a yacht bully. And also, shout out to the Soul for coming in with the raid. I am thankful that you guys didn't come sooner because I was hating on Malmö so much earlier that you would just,
I wasn't gonna out
you know,
yourself like that,
bother me.
but you just did. So for Sleeper, please be nice. He's a nice guy, but he's a bit misguided. That's all. I have defended.
Sleeper knows me, you know. Be nice to Papa Patrick, you know. We are friends. We met on Soul in your shopping, you know. You know me, okay? Please don't beat me up now.
Don't pick him up indeed, like Malmö City is doing to this dragon, and that's sole point being secured for Malmö City. Now, Einstein is maybe not an Einstein at this point if he goes too far up here, but he backs off. He's smart. He has his German brother's IQ level and is smelling some danger there. But now, both teams are resetting. Maybe now we can finally calm down a bit. We can get these stress levels down, and we can see. So what will both teams doing? We see the mid lane here is being pushed by the side of Boysen. Can they get something back? They've kind of been wrestled out of this game, but they still have the gold. The chain of corruption is good. On to Was, and he ends up falling. Now Rakshi, can he get something on the back? That's a Stranglethorn, but it doesn't do much. And now Shirelias is popped. Rograt is looking for a good Q, but the movement speed is a bit too much on its case. But the Ill is forced to flash away, and that's a turret and a kill going over to Boysen. They're saying we're still in this game. We're still the ones with the gold lead. Don't count us out yet. And I wanna stop talking, but we maybe have a play on Polk here. Einstein, will you be the Einstein and outplay this somehow? You have no mana, you have no resources. You're being kicked off your university right now by Polk, who's slowly gonna drain the blood of this Forged God away. Maybe, but a great flash not being fat-fingered means that Einstein gets out.
But the
Einstein.
Orn, you have no mana, you're just standing there, you take 0 damage, and then you flash out like a Giga Chat. You're just like, bye-bye, I'm out, you cannot kill me. But now we see Boysen getting on at that Atakan, and that's the one with the Ruinous with the Roses, so you get a lot of more adaptive force, that XP, and with the Ruinous Atakan. Even though you don't have dragons.
Oh, they don't have the dragons indeed, but they might need him right now as Ill is being so chunked down. But that Sinsa ultimate is so disgusting. He ends up living out now. Abby, can he charge? He has the Shogun ultimate, but there's a lot of CC on the Wild Growth. Both getting popped, they're just getting deleted, and that's 1 for 1. It looked so dangerous there for a second, but it ends up being just a small kill trade with the objective going over there to Malmö City.
That's just 1 for 1 there, and the objective, the Atakan going over to Boysen. You know, the Ruinous Atakan, it buffs your objectives by 25%.
Oh, though, Ill is in the whole wall. There's no Wild Growth, remember, it's down. Was has no mana, but Ill, the polymorph is so good. He has been right. That shield is amazing. And it was. And Torimu ends up killing Ill. He was the one looking for the fight, but now call off the Forge Guard. It's Pop. Can he snipe Was? But I don't know what that was aiming for. It was not Was, it was a Rakshi, but he's now the one out of position. They might be able to turn target and run. Was with a great flash snipe. Hits onto the Caitlyn. He's now down, but he's going to pay that for his life. But that's a shutdown on the Caitlyn. I think he's happy about that. Tarma has to just run away. Movement speed versus movement speed. Support versus support item. Who wins out? And it looks like Boysen will get another kill. And Einstein slowly, maybe surely will not miss this kill, but he will with the blast cones being there. Torimu ends up getting out.
Well, I guess from that play, I just can say that I recommend skipping. You know what? That's all I'm gonna say. That was some crazy fight. Constantly, we do not have a room to breathe. Kill per minute this game. It's going insane. And now maybe we have little bit brief. Like,
I mean, you can try and talk, but I guess your internet can't even keep up with
Can
the
mention
action
that
right now
in-
because we're having some issues there. But I mean, it's such a, who can blame it? It's such a high-paced game. There's so much action going on, and yeah, I hope Papa gets to share his excitements with us soon. I think, are you back now? Are you feeling well? Internet recovering from the last team fights? I think he's still recovering. I think he's still sad. He was hating on Malmö and he's getting it thrown in his face so far, but it's still a very even game between these two teams. And I'm gonna see how it's going to play now. There was about a 2k gold lead. It shrunk into almost 1k. Boysen, they're still in the lead, but I mean, watching this game, you can't really tell who is ahead and who's not, because you think it's Boysen with that gold lead, but it looks at Malmö, they just have some aura, they have some sort of secret power where they just ends up winning fight after fight. And yeah, who knows what's happening, because I think maybe Patrick got ganked IRL by Sleeper, maybe for hating too much on Malmö. Oh, maybe he's back. Oh, but you might not have to talk because there's another team fight. Oh, he's looking. Wild Growth is popped kinda early, and the BVL is looking for that, but it's a fight on two fronts, and now Rakshi ends up going down, and this is looking very good for Boysen. The Malmö aura was not enough in that specific fight, and that should be an objective. Yeah, I think you were indeed, and they are looking a bit better. Maybe they can trade something, but that's one Draco now. There's so much action going on all across the map, and Einstein getting another solo kill on Rugrat. He's not having the best series of his life, going 0-5 on the top lane, but to be fair, he's been ganked a lot, but someone who is also getting ganked, it's the rest of Malmö. That's horrible. He did not want to go in that direction. He's being sold up by his team. He's forced to use his flash to get away. And honestly, Malmö, will they solve it? It's looking very poorly right now. Boysen is looking and eyeing this Baron.
I think Sleeper has done some magic on me because I have been disconnecting right now. Sleeper, I'm sorry. I won't hate on Malmö ever again, alright? Please stop interrupting me.
Don't think my co-caster, please. But now Polk is in trouble. I don't know what he's doing up there, but that's Vladimir. He's quite a slippery dude. And with the Hemo Plague, he regens just all of his HP back. And he's just able to say, yeah, I just wanted to, have a bit of scare. He was sleeping a bit too much. Not enough action for him. So he just wanted to show his presence to the enemy team there. But now they're looking at this Baron. Now there's a low mana on Was, and all the members of Boysen are up. They could respond to this. Redemption is pop. The health is good. They're taking so much damage from this Baron. I don't know. This looks like a very, very risky call. Ord is looking. Einstein is trying to get his moves on, and a good stun onto Rugrat, who is not quite tanky enough yet. It just gets exploded by Kinger. It's a good front-to-back fight. That's a 4-man call of the Forge God, and the gods are calling indeed, but not for Malmö. And a triple kill is going over to Kiriginu. He is trying to get more poke. It's being chased down. Ace in the hole is not even needed as Abby picks up a double kill, and that's a clean ace coming out for Boysen.
Clean ace for the side of Boysen. Really great ultimate from the horny Orn. He is indeed going for the big place right now. Really, really crucial fight on the Baron. Malmö City being too confident this time, not being able to secure that objective and turn on the side of Boysen and get that fight, that Karma and that Zizao just having too much say in here. And you know what? We might be going to game 3 because right now, almost, we'll wait for it to happen. And now the Baron power play by Rogue Energy.
Oh my god, having a Malmö game when Sleeper is watching is just too much cinema for me. Sorry, but in that sense, it looks like they're gonna need all the support that they need. If you're like Sleipner and you love Malmö with all your heart, or you're like me and just a casual Malmö enjoyer, you need to cheer for your team now. They need all the help they can get. There and now, almost 6-7k down in this game. Baron power play on Boysen. They need all your support. But if you're a Boysen fan or just hate Malmö, which to be fair, most people do. I'm not saying it's the correct opinion, but most people do.
Facts.
Just facts they did. Then you wanna cheer on Boysen not to throw this game, to really push their lead and show why they are the Eternals of Solomos. They have been here for so long, so many seasons right now, and they are looking to get back to this Div 2 where they feel like they belong. And will they succeed taking the first step towards that dream again? Maybe, because Rugrat has died again.
They dying over and over again. Boysen, getting those big plays in, showing Malmö City where they belong. They're beating them so much to the ground that they might just send them straight back to Denmark.
Carefully, Patrick, you gotta watch what you're saying. Malmö has actually, as I said before, Malmö has been Swedish for almost 350 years. They became Swedish in the year 1658. They are very not Danish. But moving on, Albin now is looking to maybe send Malmö away to the very much less good part of the Scandinavian peninsula. And will they succeed? I don't know, because Einstein is now knocking on the third chain of corruption. It's not enough. Polybov is forced to be popped instantly, and Malmö, will they stand and will they remain apart in this game, or will they be sent away by Patrick's will to Denmark, or will Sleipner's cheers be enough to keep them in this game? We do not know who will end up on top, but right now it looks at Boysen. They are happy with what they got. They continued, they got that inhibitor. They still have some more time on this Baron, 36 seconds, but it looks like they're just gonna take the prize and back away.
Back away, looking at that the dragon is spawning, is not maybe the best pressure dragon stuff, which is the Chemtech, but it is a price that you want to get. You don't want to overstep too much, and so far Malmö City is still holding on. They still have the champions that play well into the late game. They have their own hit barriers, they have Vladimir, but they are still not done saying what they want to say in this game. Even though, I still stand by my opinions. Hashtag Göteborg better. We do not like Malmö. But it's okay,
Like, Patrick, you love living on the edge. I mean, Malmö is a very fine city who has a nice kebab, but yeah, sure, the speech can be quite hard to understand, but charming. But in this game, it looks like the Malmös are in a bit of trouble. We have Boysen still firmly in the lead with big gold lead, and we're seeing this Caitlyn is on 9-2. We talked about it earlier in the game. She needs to get ahead. Without her, Boysen will lack a lot of damage, but so far it has worked out. She is 3 items going on 4, 9 kills up, and an upgraded Infinity Edge. This Caitlyn is so big now. Kirangu, you are the carry this game. Can you carry your game over the finish line and force a deciding game in this semi-final Division 3 of the best, the only league, the Swedish online league? We will have to see. Will we get more action? It doesn't looking very likely as they're barreling down the spot lane second tier turret.
And I think Slipper is trying to pick up a fight with me. He is waiting in the conference room to get to join us onto the camp here. He is really trying to fight me for Malmö. And we're going to have a very big Malmö versus Göteborg debate. I feel like.
We're gonna have to see. I mean, if Malmö loses, I'm scared for Patrick's life, but they're not out of this game yet. They still have that Vladimir with 5 kills, Rabadon's completed, and he has that Magic Pan as well. Like, they're very strong champions. We have a 3-item Syra as well. So now Boysen, they have the lead, but they have to play it well. They're using the Caitlyn traps here in the bot lane very, very well to siege down the last defending turret, the last bastion of Malmö in this game before they take a recess and come back in game 3 potentially. But now, or can they make it a quick 2-0? It looks like Einstein maybe wants that to happen as he's taking a lot of damage, and Redemption and Flash is forced away. And looks now, Boysen, they're getting a bit shaky. They still have that lead, 8k up currently, 2 inhibits down. It feels like a done deal, but if they get too impatient, if they cannot wait for their waves to crash, they might end up forcing too early, and then Malmö, like they always do, will pounce from down below and take over the game. But now Call of the Forge God, they're looking to end the game. Redemption is pop. Rugrats taking off. That Wildgrowth is already down. That's a big cooldown, but maybe the turret is already down. That's all Boysen want, and now they're looking to back away. But now they have no cooldowns. They have to get away. They're running for the jungle. And no, Ill is being sold out by his team. He's knocked into Polk and he ends up dying. It's the Malmö brainwash. Somehow the enemy team just launched their jungle into the Malmö City gang. And Rakshai is being saved by the block of layers in the hall. And somehow they're still in this game.
What is going on? We are having some type of secret agent, I guess, in the Boysen.
It's called Slipper.
What happened? Slipper, hello? Excuse me? What are you doing? First, you are DDoSing me, so I cannot cast the game properly, and now you're interrupting some of the Boysen. I think there's something fishy going on. We need an investigation from official Riot Games employees on this one.
Yeah, we'll get the investigation maybe after this game. Very soon. They're looking to get back. They're on to Teramo, but he's alone. I mean, where are the rest of the boys? It's only Cheesy and Rice. He's so attacked that he just does not care. And now the rest of the boys are gathering, but Ill is still in base. He's all of a sudden, everyone thinking he's solo. Everybody's flashing on 1 HP. For so long, and the might play turns the 5 round of 1 for 1, maybe not even as Boysen boys this game, and there's why the Malmö off that map as Danish agents they are, and they are looking to force a game 3 in this semi-final.
Boysen, what a clean fight from them. Just getting everyone, and you know what I would say? It's such a item. Save us so much, and then I got clean eggs from them. Setting one other city where they belong. Send them back to the box. Send them to the game. The city of the semi-finals of Division 3 of Onlineligan.
Hey, yeah, that was a great, that was a great finish. Thank you very much for going over to Cam, and I think we fixed it. We have to get, first I have to apologize for, we had a bit of an audio bug. I've double checked all my cables. I hope it wasn't from my side. And a lot of people got error. First, I hope you're all okay. We're very sorry. We'll have to investigate that, but I think, before I do, I think I have to drag in Sleepner here, because
we have to drag in Slipper for the very big Göteborg versus Malmö debate, and here we are.
Yeah, what did you say? Yeah,
guys.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, what are you on about? You know nothing about Malmö. You're talking about a city you have no idea what the city is about. What are you talking about, Göteborg? What is Göteborg? Nobody's even been to Göteborg. People go to Borås and they think it's Göteborg. It's so vague. What is... What do you guys even do up there? What do you do in Göteborg? Clean fish?
What do you mean? You say Borås.
You created Volvo, you sold Volvo. You created men, you sold men. What are you guys doing?
I mean, we win at hockey,
part of Göteborg. Don't say that Borås is part of Göteborg. We are embarrassed of Borås. We do not take Borås as part of Göteborg. You don't say that. But you talking about Malmö.
Yeah.
You talking about Malmö.
Yeah.
Like you live in that city and you don't even know that you need to be aware that this city should belong back to Denmark. You guys, most of you in that city, when you speak Swedish, half of the country does not even understand you. How are you going to defend yourself on that one?
Let me reply to that one, okay? Let me reply to that one.
Okay.
If I was Danish right now, the Danish crown is right now standing at 1.49 Swedish crown. I would be 50% richer if I was Danish. So please make me Danish right now. You will increase my economy by 50%. and then I can buy back Skåne and make it its own country, and then we can,
Yeah.
for once, just get rid of all the Göteborgare who thinks they're so special cleaning fish in Borås.
Hey, you know what's deeper? That's okay. We make Skåne Danish again. You get richer, and you know what? That doesn't change anything because if you get richer, people tend to hate rich people, so they will hate Skåne either way. So that's fine for me. That's a fair trade. I will take that gladly.
So I get 50% increased economy, and you will fix that for me.
Okay,
No problem.
great. I think
Just as long as Skåne disappears from Sweden, I'm happy with that. I'll take anything.
you can stand for that opinion on your own. I'm not part of this conversation, but I guess we end off with Patrick is going to pay Sleipner 50% more economy in order
Yeah.
to. Okay, great. I guess PayPal each other later. But I just have to
Yes, so
say
thanks.
that you can vote on the player of the game if you like. I think.
There's no
Yeah, I
Malmö
don't-
players.
There's no Malmö players, so I guess Sleipner won't vote.
Yeah, why are there no Malmö players? What's this?
As it should
Because they
as
lost
it
the
should
game.
be,
That's kind of what
Sleeper.
happens.
I don't care.
No, it is
No,
as it
I
should
wanna-
be, Sleeper.
I
you
want to
know?
vote
No
for
matter
best
what.
loser. Can I do that?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I mean, in that case, it would be you because you live in Malmö and we don't.
Oh, really? Okay.
I lived in Lund for
yeah.
5 years, so be careful what you say.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's not Malmö, you know.
Nah, it belongs to Malmö though.
I mean, it's Skåne. It's the same beautiful
Skåne,
landscape.
but it's not Malmö.
Exactly. Jakob knows exactly what he's talking about. This guy, he is well read. He knows about the
Yeah.
culture of Sweden. He knows where to
mean-
go. He's been places. I trust this guy.
All I'm gonna say is that if you're a fan of a Mesozoic geological strata, you should go to Skåne because there you have dinosaurs. You don't have any other dinosaurs anywhere else in Sweden. So I can
You
maybe
know what?
Gotland, but no one cares about islands. Anywho,
Yeah,
I rest my
Yeah,
case.
you know what? I'm gonna. You know, I feel like I'm losing the argument because many people are turning against me. So I think I have to go to the deepest of the deepest holes of them all and say, yeah, you guys saying this to me just because I'm an immigrant. I'm playing the racism card on you.
Well, you can never pull the racist card with a Malmö person. That's like the last place you can pull that card.
I mean,
like
it's like the most multicultural city in Sweden currently.
it's probably the most multicultural city in Europe. So yeah.
You know what, guys? I guess I'm just gonna go to the corner and cry because I have nothing else to say. And yeah,
Hey, don't make crying look bad. Crying is good. I'm happy for you that you will cry.
thank you. Many people are not happy for me that I cry, but I cry every day to sleep thinking about people that play, play tanks on support and they feel like they're good players. You know, that's why I cry about most of the times.
Guys, you should
Okay,
not cry.
Guys, aren't you excited for the last game where Malmö takes the final spot in the finals? Aren't you excited?
All right, Sleeper, how about we make a deal?
Okay, let's go.
If Boysen will win, you will put an official statement on your social media that Malmö belongs back to Denmark. And if Malmö wins, I will make a video officially apologizing to everyone from Skåne and saying that this is the best part of Sweden.
No, only Malmö. You will say Malmö is the greatest city in Sweden, and if
Only
I
Malmö,
could,
alright.
if I could change my birth certificate, I would change it to Malmö.
All right, I will do that. We have a
Okay.
deal. If
that's a deal.
Boysen wins, you will say that Malmö belongs to Denmark, and if
100%.
Malmö wins, I will say whatever you want me to say.
Yeah.
Okay, you heard it right here. It's on stream. We have the rules, so no one can back out now. And this made me. I was already excited for this last game. I'm even more excited now because I don't know what I want to hear about Sleipner admitting Malmö is Danish or Papa Patrick having to admit that Malmö is kind of a good city, which I
would have to admit that is the greatest city in Sweden, actually. But that will not happen because we know that the best city is still Göteborg. We are Göteborg gonna represent. I don't care.
Well,
and you will see.
Yeah, that's an opinion. I like Gothenburg, most of the next guy, but moving on soon, we're gonna have to find out who is going to win this wonderful game 3 between Boysen and Malmö City. And now we only have not a final spot on the line, a bet, official bet between our own caster, Papa Patrick, and Sol, the biggest Malmö aficionado in the entire Swedish Online League, Sleipner. So, I mean, we have to find out who wins this game. I am so excited. But now we're going into draft. We see the same bands. Why? We
The
always
same
have the
band
same
and
bands.
also the same side selection. Malmö City did not decide to change to go red side. They still keeping for all 3 games on the blue side, and we see now a Karma ban instead of another tank ban that we had in the previous games, and we see if Boysen want to change something up in the first 3 bands, or if we get everything on the same one as simulation. We have Pantheon being taken away. That was a very good pick from game 1 for the side of Malmö City, and now we have the Tristana.
And I mean, Malmö, they have picked, they have been blue side all 3 games. They've picked a different blue side one pick every single game. They picked Pantheon. They picked Champion, I forget, in game 2. And now
Varus.
Tristana. Varus, right. Thank you. So they're just keeping us on our toes. And now we'll see, will Boysen answered with something we've seen. And they won on the Caitlyn last game. So why not pick it again?
Right, and we see what we pair the Caitlyn with. Maybe we get the huge, eager Caitlyn Lux bot lane. Maybe, who knows? But I would like to see maybe now we pick up a strong jungle pick on the R2 for the side of Boysen, and not reveal the support pick quite yet. Especially since we know that the Tristana is still a flex pick that can potentially go and be moved into the mid lane. But is this very unlikely since we know that the AD carry of Malmö City is a very big Tristana enjoyer?
Very big tournament. And we see the Sin Sao locked in. So a very similar draft coming out from Boys. And I mean, they won on it. So I would not blame them for focusing on that. But now, what will the Malmö answer? This is the most important game of their sole career. They have the backup. They have the Malmö Eater here. They're cheering them on. They have to come up with something good in this draft. And they end up picking the Thresh. And we'll see what will the answer will be on this B3 pick.
Relish being picked out, so they're revealing the support pick right now, and they say that they want to fight, they want to play for that bot lane dominance. They do not care, and I feel like you are sort of forced to go double range on the side of Boysen if you want to keep that bot lane pressure and try to slow that Tristana down, or you can say that you want to fight them on the ground and pick a melee support. Like right now, they're hovering for that brown pick. Or, never mind, we have that Alistar. I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of it because Alistar can easily be denied by the side of the Mama City. If you have the Thresh, if you use the Flay correctly, you can deny his whole engage as well as Tristana's W. It works in a very specific way that if you buffer it correctly, you will be able to deny CC that's coming your way and just jump out of it.
Yeah, and it's gonna be very important that this game will not be caught. He has to use the W perfectly on this Alistar WQ combo in order to escape it. But now we see 3 champs. We see jungle, ADC, and support on side. That means that mid and top needs to be picked for both sides. Now, one of these sides on the side of Malmö, they have to blind pick this. So what do they prioritize taking away? They take away the Ornn and the Syndra. So again, not pinching one simple role. They're going for 2 split role bans with the Syndra. We've seen them ban this every single game so far. They really don't want the champion. And Ornn, I mean, after last game, I would not want to face this Ornn again. So I can get that. But the Rumble is open. It's a very popular pick. Blinding it might have some counter shot, but otherwise it beats almost every melee top laner currently. So it's a very good pick, and it's being locked in for the start. Now, what will Malmö City answer with? They have to blind. Basically, they can counter top, but they have to blind mid. What will they answer with, Patrick?
Let me just
Uh,
tell you guys right now what will happen in this game. Raxi
Okay.
will completely stomp this game number 3. I just had a talk with him. He's my boy. He's from Malmö. And guys, they just blind picked into Raxi. Like, what are they doing? Like, are you looking to get defeated here? Are you looking to lose? I love Boysen. I've casted them several seasons, but I mean, this is Malmö. You can't disrespect us like that.
My brother just said he got disrespected by blind picking top, and this guy picked up Cho'Gath for the third game in a row. I don't think there's much to say about it, to be fair.
You know, the Malmö
But we have a
brain maybe works
Veigar.
both ways here, but Veigar is an unexpected pick, being the last pick for the Malmö City. Now, will Veigar be the champion for the Malmö people? We will end up seeing now what will Boys encounter with here. They have a free counter pick. They have the pick of the litter into this Veigar. What will be their option now? Oh, I'm so excited. Please pick something cool. I want to see.
Well, oh my God, we have the L9 in the house. Hello, L9 calling. We have that Kassadin. Hello. That's
Okay,
one
so
of the biggest counters to Veigar in the mid lane thematically. Another one that's really popular, that is a very strict lane counter, would be Katarina, but I'm not sure if Abby plays it. But if you are Kassadin, you are very happy with that lane because one, Veigar does not pose any threat to you early if you play correctly and just sack some of the gold and try to catch as much XP as possible. And after level 6, you just out to win because his cage doesn't do anything against you.
yeah, but keep in mind, every Castellan I've like seen in the past like 2 years have been like, okay, in lane, this makes a lot of sense, and we're going to win. But also we can't contest anything because my champ doesn't do anything early, so my jungle is sad. Then they just lose before he becomes a champion. So I'm probably a really nice lane pick, but will it end up hurting Ill's ability to sort of find these good skirmishes in the river? Because, you know, say what you will about Kassadin, he doesn't do much early levels.
Yes, indeed, he doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt that much early, and he doesn't have many tools early game, and that is what I'm really scared of. That we won't be able to see that Kassadin just scale into the game, hit those levels that he really needs, because Kassadin is mostly about that he needs to catch as much XP as possible, and he doesn't really necessarily need that sweet level 16 as many people think anymore. Same as Hale, that the champions got a little bit tuned down, that they have still really great scaling into the level 16. Don't get me wrong, they get really strong at that point, but they get more power earlier at level 11, for example, that they are still able to put effort into the games because we know that League has evolved into the stage that you need to be online quicker. The games are faster right now, so that you don't get too often to scale as much as you did before early seasons, and maybe during like season 5, 6. That the scaling was the number one thing that you went for with the Tangle Meta on top lane. And what I am afraid of right now is that Boysen won't be able, as it happened in game one, to play that slow game uh, of League, to be able to just take it easy earlier and know that you are going to scale into the game with the Rumble, with the Kassadin, and you will be able to win the game later on if you get accelerated on those picks. And I think if Malmö City can bring that type of chaos that it did in game one, I will say that I am very afraid of what could happen, especially the first few levels. I feel like will be crucial for the side of Malmö City to get that early lead and be
Okay.
able to stumble the game.
So, final predictions. I'm gonna say that I mean, I like Boysen's draft slightly more, but I mean, as a wise man once said, Malmö. So they are.
Malmö. Did you feel that? Did you feel that in
Yeah.
your spine? Wait, one was.
No,
Okay.
wait. Wait.
Malmö. Oh, felt good.
Oh,
Hello,
That's a good.
hello. Am I hearing it correctly? Is somebody throwing up on the cast, or
Yeah, we're
is somebody
throwing up
trying to
gold
say?
because we always win. Guys, I will leave you to the cast. You guys are amazing. Take care and good luck, Malmö. Take it home. Bye, guys.
Take it on.
Take
Thank
care
you,
and be
Skipper,
prepared to
for
make that video of saying get the body is great, by the way.
no,
See ya.
enough.
Cool.
We will leave it on the Rift. Okay, guys, enough now. Now we're going in soon into game 3 here versus Malmö City and Boysen. And yeah, it's gonna be a banger of a game. We have a bet. We have been hyped by a very unbiased guest appearance from Sleipner, and of course me as the impartial one will say that I kind of hope. I don't know. I don't know which one I want more, but I kind of want Malmö to win. Not because I want you to lose the bet, but just because, I mean, you can't not chant Malmö. It's like, it's just the best name to chant. It just goes so well. So I'm too hyped now. I'm on the Schlittner train for now, but maybe they will convince me otherwise soon in the game. Boysen will have to put on a good show to help Patrick retain his sort of Malmö hate train for now. But yeah, I'm praying for you, man.
You know what? It's okay. You guys can cheer for Malmö. You know, you guys that came in, get so hyped for Malmö City. You know what you remind me of, guys? You remind me of those people that, for example, in like football or other sports, they cheer for those very, very shitty teams. And then when they lose so many games, they are so trash, and then you guys are quiet. And when that one random moment comes when they win, you're just like, Malmö, let's go. We are the greatest. I always believed in us. We are so good. We are back.
It's called a true fan and not a cloud chaser. But we rest my case. Now the poll is up in chat. Who won draft? I think unbiasedly, I prefer Boysen's draft a bit more theoretically. But I mean, I think both are very close. There's no one's game at this point. If they get to late game, that Kazakhstan is gonna be a monster. But if they don't, then Malmö is looking quite dangerous as well. So vote in chat on who you think won the draft with neck and neck. We need one more vote at least before the vote closes to see who won the draft, objectively decided by our own Twitch chat.
Very objectively decided. No Malmö bias in the chat, of course. Never have been any bias.
Oh,
And we actually have a draw.
It's a draw. So no deciding fact. It looks like no one is winning here. But with that said, we're finally going into the final game of this Division 3 semi-finals. It's game 3 with Boysen versus the one and only Malmö City. Who will come out on top and who will be forced to win our final bet of the day? We will have to know soon who will go home in tears and who will have to shout Malmö is Danish or Malmö is good. We will have to see very, very shortly. But for now, we're hitting the rift.
We are hitting a lift, and all I'm gonna say is GG. It's lost for the side of Boysen. We have no racist Cosmic River Kassadin skin. RIP in the chat.
RIP in the chat, no Cassette skin. But I mean, Faker plays with no skin, so just saying.
Yes, but if you pick Kassadin, you gotta go for that racist L9 skin. Like, it's not it's not something you can do. It's like a must. You are forced to do it. Otherwise, you won't deal as much damage if you don't go for that skin.
Fair enough, that's how it works, right? League is a pay-to-win game. I can agree on that. But moving on, we still have a standard 5 point in the opening of this game, and now we have both teams coming out. An early game. What do you expect to happen here, Patrick? Where should we keep our eyes?
I think we should keep our eyes especially on the bot lane because we have a very explosive matchup, as well as we should keep an eye on that Kassadin and see if he will try to play aggressive and get that push. We see that he's trying to get that fire early, trying to get that push for the level 2 and be able to maybe crash the first few waves, get that secure first back, get that tier and start stacking. Because he decides to go for the D-shield and keep playing the very first few levels very safe. Also taking that fleet footwork, so he is not a champion until very, very much later in the game.
Yeah, we see a bit of a slow start there in the middle. Not much gonna happen. It's a Kassadin lane, but he ends up doing quite well here. But on bot lane, this is the focal point. The push is secured by Malmö's bot lane here. Are they gonna be able to do a quick 2-wave crash here? And This might be to expected. I mean, historically, Alistar is not the best champion level 1, but now they hit over to that level 2. Now they have to be a bit more careful on the side of Malmö, but they are fine for now, and a good Shadow Charge will do some damage towards Boysen, and Cheesy and Finger now has to be a bit careful pushing out this wave, but they're gonna be able to collect. And meanwhile, we see both junglers are matching, clearing towards that bot lane. I think it's clear where the focus lies in this early game.
As I mentioned, now Jarvan skipping his camps, going for the invade, knowing that they have the prior from the bot lane, and see if there is going to be a fight early on. And
Oh, the flag and dragon going into the flash hook. That's a mad life play if I haven't seen one. And a great, beautiful first blood going out for the Malmö boys.
We have first blood from the side of Malmö. From the Malmö.
Okay. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. You gotta have to find it, but that's a great Tupac Torment. He's feeling the chance. They're on, but that's a great headbutt pulverized by Cheesy. He predicts the jump from Was and Boysen. That's a great kill onto the Caitlyn. And now they're looking for more. Raxi is so low right now, but he ends up getting out. But Cheesy, what an amazing play. He's been bullied so much in the other 2 games, giving up so many deaths, but that was a clean play.
Was being picked out and making a crucial mistake, causing him to lose the CS, being able to get some room to breathe for the bottom of course, and Boysen, and also as well as that we get a kill onto the Caitlyn, which is really great. And sadly, Visuna is not getting a great recall with that buy of the item that I always like to joke about it, that people say that it's very bad, and this item is essentially a slingshot. So that's why I always call this item the Elo slingshot of League of Legends, you know?
We see if it will be a good Elo slingshot in this game. Indeed, as now we're slowing down a bit. First Drake is about to spawn, and I will both teams. Who do you favor? Like, we have this dragon coming up. Which team do you think wants to prior this more? As Paul might be in trouble, but Lantern finally is clicked and he is gonna be able to get out.
Both supports hovering around mid lane, being very smart with this. Now we know that the Vega will be forced back at TP, and because is staying, per chance he will be able to get and accumulate a little bit of more gold, be able to get a better recall of, because we see that he has not back yet, and we that a lot of ages got changed recently, and we have a little bit of better build path as well as better stats for that item, which means that a lot of more mid laners have started to opt for that item after the buffs, and we would most likely, with the item being purchased on both sides of the mid lane, that these players are going to both put that Rod of Ages build and being more on this scaling side.
Yeah, they're gonna have to, keep on to that scaling, but so far, we're still even. Both teams, they have good scaling, but we're all watching for the elephant in the room in that castle, and now there might be a bit of a fight. Another great hook coming out from Toremo into the flag and drag, but that's a good interrupt by Cheesy. He's on point with these headbutt pulverizers, and that does mean that Rakshi ends up going down. The kill is stolen by the support, but so far Boysen, Cheesy is just picking the right angles.
Major Cheese talking about Cheesy getting cheesy and taking that kill away from any of the carries. What are you doing, Alistar? We know that you cannot milk those, but you cannot steal those kills as well.
Cannot steal those kills as well, but he's trying. That's another great headbutt pulverized, but the event horizon is good, and it keeps this poke alive so far, and he's able to catch the wave.
Now we see Jarvan going for the raid of that. We see that jungle the Boysen decides to go for the first break loud, and now Malmö trading for those grabs, but now being interrupted by the Alistar and the
But
Rumble.
Cheesy, he's
First on
just
the move.
everywhere this game. Into that Rumble ultimate. It's so good. And another kill going over to Cheesy. The man is just everywhere on the map. He's right now the cheese who's stopping the Malmö. He's melting all over their offensives right now. And it's just putting on a great show on this Alistar.
Really good job from Cheesy, sadly taking another kill, but showing the enemy jungler his face on the rift, being able to interrupt those grabs.
Oh, but looks like Toramo wants to show who is the best support in this game. He hits a good hook, but that's a Kassadin. He's just able to pop away. And I think I interrupted my co-caster for nothing. Oh, wait, Flash? Hulk? L9? Oh, okay, not enough.
Hello, Mr. Veigar. You have no mana, you have no cooldowns. What are you doing? That's
You have no mana.
have no mana. But going back to that play on the grubs, the Jarvan not really understanding where the Alistar is on the map and how strong and oppressive he can be early, disrespecting that his top laner did not have the prior rumble being on the first move, and him dying for the second time this game and giving up both the feats of warfare because he gave the third kill over to Boysen, as well as him not being able to get that stack off the grab for the bang because he got that one voice drop.
We got that one for but it is 1-2 in Borgraphs so far, and gold is almost dead even. It's a slight gold lead for Boysen, and they definitely are gonna need that gold lead in order to sort of transition into this late game. But you know, taking a stop on the map, you know, slightly for Boysen, but you know, if you're Malmö, are you worried, Patrick, or do you still feel in a good position this game?
I think you shouldn't be too worried yet at this point of the game. So there's a slight gold lead. You have 1k almost. On the side of Boysen, you still have your own late game tools, as to say, especially now that you see that Veigar has already completed his Rod of Ages and he is starting to stack it. Meanwhile, the Khazad has not quite purchased the item yet and is a little bit behind in tempo, but now maybe in the midnight item.
Yeah, but there is a lot happening. Bot lane though was super low, but he ends up surviving as the last autos cannot connect from Caitlyn here in the bot lane. So a lot of action across the map, but no one is falling quite yet.
Quite yet, it was a very, very dangerous situation for the side of Boysen. The bot lane, it has been shown that the game won, even though they got a slight lead early, they were too ambitious. They made crucial mistakes that made Malmö City be able to come back to the game. And I would like for them to have a bit of improvement and be able to realize that you cannot make those mistakes again, because you know how quickly a game can slip out of your hands.
Yeah, it can quickly slip out of your hands again, and now Malmö, they have to play so carefully. If they make one or two more major mistakes, this Kassadin all of a sudden gets huge influx of XP and gold. He gets closer to that level 16, and even level 11, as you talked about before, is already a pretty strong break point for him these days. So now Malmö, they're up against the wall. They have to win this game to not only keep their playoff hopes alive and make it to the finals, but also to defend the Malmö honor is on stake right here. And baby, great footwork. And those were some sweet choices. He dodges everything on that gank.
Hey, fancy feet coming from Abby on the
Oh,
mid
but
lane. No.
Ilya does not have fancy beats. He walks right back in to the enemy team, but the hook crucially missed from Torimo means that the Flash is able to take him out. But our equalizer is good into the flag and drag, almost gets them out, but the box is enough. And that is some 2 kills going over to Boysen.
We have a kill for the Kassadin. It's a great news for Boysen being able to accelerate that late game monster, being able to give him that gold, give him that XP, and be able to put him ahead. But Malmö City, even though they got a great hook to the Xin Zhao, they were able to pick him up. They still lose the fight because yet another time, Rumble has the has the first move, and we see how crucial his ultimate is in the fight to be able to get the damage that they need to secure those kills and turn the fight around quickly. And
They turn
now
around to 5 and Cheesy is looking to turn the game around, but he might not turn it around. And the thing that he wanted was flashes it, and that's a great ultimate to cancel the headbutt, and he ends up picking a kill. Now, this does mean that Drake is forced to reset, and Boysen, they have lost their support, but there's no ultimate, no flash on Was. Will they still take the fight? It's major cooldowns down on the carry on Malmö, but a hook from seems to have decided for Boysen that they will still be inside the jaws of the Malmö.
well, Xin Zhao, those junglers cannot play save this game. We have 0-2 on the Jarvan, 0-3 on the Xin Zhao. It's just that the junglers are being the main focus, and now Malmö City being able to bounce back a little bit, get a pick on the jungler once again, and now getting that very important outplay that gives them actually quite a lot this game, because you have a lot of those tanky champions as well as you give more resistance to your carries, which will make them able to survive more in those fights, especially later in the game. You will have a very much accelerated Kassadin and Caitlyn that will build on.
Yeah, I mean, they just see that on them. And again, I think that the gold is even, but we saw last game what Kringeru could do on this Caitlyn pick. He already has 1 kill and 1 completed item. He's being set up for success this game as well. But now, unlike this game, he has that Kassadin win condition. We all know that Kasa win is one of the most strongest late game win conditions you can have in the game, and they're looking to get there. But now Cheesy is also looking to keep his team. He says, I don't need a late game win condition, I can create my own. But Poke, the damage is just not quite there. It looks like Kingeru, he was too afraid to step up to auto Poke too much, and maybe rightfully so, as Rakshai was around the corner.
Great attempts on the side of Boysen, not overextending this time, being like, alright, we tried, didn't work. We group and try again with this, but now trying to get over the Kassadin. Now the full one.
Oh, but the focus is not there.
The damage is not enough to get the kill on the Kassadin, and he just walks away, burning that ignite and flash fresh.
Yeah, that was a good play attempt there from the support Fresh there, but he tries too hard, but he's not gonna get anything. But now Malmö, they didn't get anything bot, so let's try on top. Can they get Einstein? And it looks like they will indeed secure it, and that's a big shutdown going over to Rakshai.
Big shutdown going over to that Jarvan, picking up the kill on to the Rumble. At least he was able to catch that wave and was able to get at least a couple of minions before he died. Tried to trade, it was sort of close to get at least a 1-for-1 in the situation, but he ends up going down 1-for-0. But on the other hand, we see now there is a little bit of swap around the map, Kevin being sent on the top side, now moving towards the mid lane, because we see Malmö City trying to go for the mid tower, not having enough damage and enough minions to get that push, and Kassadin being stopped from the bot tower, Veigar burning his TP. Now we see that is the point where we can pull the trigger if we are Boysen, because there is the Rift cards on. We know that Veigar has joined the TP. Meanwhile, we have the TP available from the Kassadin, that he can join the fight whenever he wants.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look, can they use this TP advantage to secure something? They might not even need to, as this Rift Herald is just going down without any contest to Boysen. And now Wasto, he is contesting a bit of mid level. That's a good lantern into flame, but it was split early. And this means that the head of Pulverize does connect, but there is no damage to follow up, and Was is gonna be able to walk out safely.
Yeah, we sort of get like a handshake. We tried, you tried, it's okay, we just walk away both ways. But now Malmö City being able to get that push on the bot lane, and we see now them on a slight gold lead, around 500 gold lead over to the side of Malmö City, and it is looking very, very scary for Boysen if they will be able to keep up on the very that small little golden that they were able to get.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we have a solo Bolo in the top lane. Rugrat finally getting some revenge for that last game, and he is now the one picking up a solo kill, as we might be getting a replay. The equalizer, oh, it's not missing, and then, yeah, just kill button. Rugrat, great outplay, great mechanical skill. Hope that robot mech Yordle thing tastes good. I would try some pepper on it. Be safe.
Yeah, just gonna put a little bit of spice on it, you know?
Bit of spiciness indeed, although Rumble is such a normal pick these days, I feel like he's quite bland. No? He's lost. He's alright.
That's why you gotta put a little bit of spice on it. That's why.
For sure.
You gotta season it up before you get that
Full okay, so full attack speed Rumble now, like with overheat, and just go like bonus 80 and just That is spice. You have to see it now. He has to build.
Excuse me, hello, can I change my co-caster because I think he's tweaking right now?
I mean. Wanted spice, man. I give you spice.
I did not sign up for this. Yeah, you said a little bit of spice, but now you're putting Carolina Reaper on the plate or something like that.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. If it doesn't give you pain, it's not worth eating.
That's actually true because I love spicy food, and I stand by that statement.
Pain indeed, but for now it looks like Malmö might want to cause some pain onto Cheesy, but he's maybe able to get away. He's a big cow. He's can handle himself on his own, but mid prio is wrestled back here by Malmö City. Now, can they convert this to anything? This is don't hurt so much. That's flash forced out by Kingu. Huge cooldown down, but now it looks like Raxi. He's caught a bit of bad place, but that Lantern Dark Passage is great from Torimu, and it gets his jungler out now. Can they all get out? We see the rocket jump being used as well, and they're just waddling out to safety now. The turret is low, but it didn't quite get it, but now they have sort of used a lot of resources. They have to go and reset, and this does mean that the tempo shifts back in Boysen's favor. Can they now get this turret? But the Veigar, Dark Matter is very good. It's hitting the minions, it's being cleared out, and we have no turrets going down just yet.
No, that's going down, but the Cousin being able to get that push in the bot lane, meanwhile everything was happening down in the mid. So even though we got the trade of Rumble being forced to TP onto the tower and the Dragon going down almost by the end of that fight, we had that Cousin just really farming on the bot lane, getting that XP, getting that gold, and we see now him with 2 items completed, level 13. So we are almost at the very, very sweet spot of that level 16 Castle Monster. And he's Seraph, he's stacking right now. We don't know exactly how many stacks he has on it because Spectator is probably not Castle that well. But it's the right way to see once it is converted to the Archangel. And
we'll have to see. We see now that is hopefully converted very well, but for now, we will see, can Boysen convert this slight gold lead into something bigger? So far, they might be content with doing that because look at this Kassadin. He's level 13. He's 3 levels away from that breakpoint. The level 16, the infamous, one of the oldest scaling power points in the game. Once Abby hits that, he will just zoom around the map and no one can hit him. And we already see what he could do with his movement speed alone. So I am scared. If I am Malmö, I'm scared right now.
If I am Malmö, I am also really scared right now. But we also see that Veigar had purchased his power spike.
Oh, and there might be a bit of a fight here. Head pop is good. The unstoppable is popped, but can they do enough? He's trying to get away, but Cataclysm is blocking G down, but that's a great help of Pulverize to get himself out, but it's not enough. Polk ends up picking up killing a Rugrat, is answering, and it's just a big cluster of a fight, but I'm seeing so much blue, and Malmö, as they have done so many times this series, when we think they're starting to be counted out, they just find a way back.
Malmö going 4-0. Cheesy overstepping, forcing his team to try to follow up on that play, not respecting the TP behind, and just big mess of a fight for Boysen. One of the members going down for a steal. Off now, Uppercut being able to Malmö. Although, first time this series, vicious. Die. Don't give a shot. Help. I thought they die.
Yes.
This game for the first time in the series.
You know, the Roaches. Yes, you have to check it as well, but now they get that Anakin buff, they have that free revive. It's not as strong as it has been in the past, but it's still quite a potent sort of get out of jail free card. Now, will Mama be able to use this? They already won one fight, and now for the first time in the game, they're ahead 3k, or sorry, 2k, almost 3k rather, in this game, and they also have Anakin buff. I mean, you know, Kassadin is getting close to level 16, but right now Malmö is looking very fresh with all these buffs and this gold lead. Now, can they transfer this into a game win? It would be a huge upset in this Seoul semi-final. Malmö, the new team for the season. There's a group of boys from Malmö, presumably, will just came out, wanted to play a bit of Seoul casually, going up in one of the older or soon to be older organizations of Seoul. They've been around the block and they're showing up big time. Now they're knocking on the second tier turret spot, and I mean, just look at Vas, just look at Tristana. It's so disgusting. She just melts every turret in the game, and I mean, will this melting continue? Patrick, are you back from melting your mark?
I think so. At least I hope so. Yes, that's really good to hear, but I am right now sitting very scared in the corner of my room because I was not prepared. And I think if the game continues that way, I should be preparing my speech for the people of Malmö, and my very big apology that I have for Sleeper if that game continues in that way that it does. But now Dizzy
have to go in.
out of position again.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. The unbreakable will is not enough. It's breakable because Malmö is breaking barriers. They're breaking expectations, and they're just breaking, soon to be breaking rather, the base of Boysen. Now Equalizer is used to clear out the wave despite some time for Boysen, but Shadow Shard is just too strong, and that's another turret gone, and Malmö are just looking like inevitability. Maybe they will show that Malmö is the true city. It's the city that should be the main capital of Sweden. We do not know. Boysen, can they put a stop this half Danish invasion? We will not know. Will Sleipnir get his money? Will Patrick have to tell everyone that Malmö is the greatest city? Will Sleipnir have to swallow his pride and admit that Malmö is Danish? We will soon find out as we're entering the twilight years of this game.
I am really not looking forward to seeing what will happen later in the game, but I still have my hope for Boysen. Kassadin level 15, almost at the sweet spot of level 16. We have that Caitlyn with 2 items. I don't think, and now we see Kassadin hitting that level 16, having that final point in your ultimate, and what else can I say? That Boysen will try to just I don't think at this point of the game you can play proactively as that team. You have to just sit back, relax, warm up, and wait for the mistakes of the enemy team and be able to punish those mistakes that will occur. And if you are this side of Malmö, you will try to just accelerate your lead and try to do it as good as possible. Now we see that Baron has been started, and we will probably have a very, very big fight coming really soon. Or not, if we just decide to stop it and recall.
Yeah, they just don't do it. But I mean, maybe they're scared because Kassadin AB has just hit that level 16. Malignance completed. It's a 3-item Kassadin. Failing has been completed. Abby can now play the game. And yes, Malmö City, they are still ahead in terms of gold. But the win conditions are starting to click. Soon, we're going to see Kirangu get his third item, and this Kassadin is on 16. There will be so much damage on the side of Boysen. So that makes it so Malmö, you're gonna have to play clean. Do you have it in you? You've played some clean fights so far. Can the Malmö buff take them all the way to a victory? We will soon find out going this next objective fight as both teams are running out on the map again.
We will see right now Malmö is doing what they are supposed to do, trying those waves in the mid lane, trying to push back on the...
But they are not being allowed because look at Boysen. They don't want the wave to stop. But that shut down on the ones who Kassadin is Kassa in this case. The AD carry is down, but the Shogath does get one in return, but it's only she's not pulled. What can you do? That's a great primordial burst, picking up another, and somehow it's only a 2 for 3 in slight favor of Boysen.
Kassadin is the Kassa win. Give him those kills. You look at his damage. He one-shotting the Tristana. He missteps one time and it's over for the side of Malmö City. Sadly, the fight did not turn out for the Boysen as they wanted to, because they ended up 3-4-2, but that is still a good trade for them and a way to be able to come back into the game.
Yeah, and I know if that's not a Malmö buff, I don't know what is. You just insta lost your carry in the game, and you still end up sort of getting some kills back, and that's a great flag and drag onto Abby. But I mean, he's just so fat. He's trying. Oh, but Polk is so low. He's on 1 HP almost, and he ends up staying alive. But I mean, Abby's just such a menace, level 17. And I mean, if no one has ever seen a Kassadin in late game, this is kind of what it looks like.
Abby, you are crazy. You are a psychopath. What are you trying to do? Almost giving away a huge shutdown just because you try to greed for more kills. You see that they are very low. You're like, oh my god, I can't kill them. Please, just get me one more Rift Walk and that will be a skewed kill for our team.
I mean, but man, the guy has balls. He's showing. He's waited patiently for the entire game. As an AD carry main, I can relate. You wait so long for your moment to shine and finally deal damage, and then you bet you're gonna deal damage unless you're against the Fed Kassadin, because you're just gonna do like Boss was doing and get one shot. But with that said, Malmö are still not done. They're securing the Ocean Soul quite cleanly, and now they're looking towards that Baron. Boysen, they know that Malmö, they have to enter in to this topside river to get access to the Baron, so they're smartly positioning themselves in between Malmö and this Baron, but they have given up this mid lane prior to do so, which means that the wave is going to be pushing towards Boysen, and can Malmö punish Was? Crucially goes in, gets a flash, but now they're kind of split. Abby is looking for that flank, but he has been spotted out. Now Cheesy is left alone, and Was is also left alone on the side, but that Dark Passage, it's very good. Good Lantern. Now Abby's being focused down. He almost dropped. Crucially, look at Was. He's free hitting. He's killing everyone. He gets the reset. Can he get one more? He's looking for it. We're not in Malmö, and it's not. It's a Swedish carry, but we get a replay of this almost great play. And yeah, I mean, just look at this. It's a good hook to start off with. And I mean, look at Was. He's so dangerous with the great Lantern for Tormo, keeps him to safety. And Abby just cannot get in. They just have his number. And meanwhile, now Was can just freely hit onto the enemy team. And what a great play. And as we continue here to live, the flash Q misses for Kangaroo. Flag and drag is good. Net caliber net is even better, but a hook. It's been clean. The game started with a hook onto the enemy jungle by Taramo. It's gonna end with a hook on the enemy jungle by Taramo. With that ace, Malmö is looking to win, to reshape the landscape and the hierarchy of the Swedish city landscape, as they now prove not only that they deserve to be here, they also prove that Malmö is the greatest city in the Great North.
Malmö.
Hello, my man.
Malmö. Malmö.
Um, um,
Malmö.
this is my honest reaction to that information. This is me right now.
040, det är klart de vet. Malmö stad. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Well,
MAL.
wait. You know, I am a man of my word. So now everybody, just calm down. Everybody quiet and let me do my speech. I here, as a proud member of Sweden now, me, Patrick Soka, apologize to the people of Malmö and here for telling the whole world, and especially with my heart goes to you, Sleeper. I'm saying that Malmö is indeed the greatest city in the world, not even in Sweden. And even though I am actually a Swedish citizen, but I have been born outside of Sweden, I here say that if I could, I would change my birth certificate to be born in the greatest city in the world, which is Malmö. And I herefore apologize to everyone from that great city. And I say that Göteborg is actually not the one, at least not this time. And yes, I am very sorry to the people of Malmö. I have been lying all the time to you. Malmö is indeed the greatest city in the world, and I am so sorry to you.
We forgive you and we welcome you with open arms. Welcome, Patrick. Welcome.
See,
Thank you.
Malmö, the cultural capital of the world.
Yeah.
Yes. Also the ones that the municipality that spends the most money on culture each year. Fun fact.
Yeah, we spent I think 15 million on a sprout from a tree that's the oldest tree in the world.
Yeah.
And then we put it on the facility of our hospital, and then we didn't give higher salaries to the nurses.
Yeah.
Scoreboard.
I guess that's the best city in Sweden now.
Yo, I love capitalism.
Eat that, medicine people.
Yeah.
Wait,
We got a
don't you fucking
flower.
man?
I want food at home. You get a tree. That's right. That's what you get.
right. You want better salary? You want food? Nah. How about a giant tree that does absolutely nothing?
It's not a giant tree. It's like a little twig. It takes it like
Oh.
50 years to grow. So like the people that actually saw it now will not see it when it's grown. So they invested in something we will never see. But hey, Malmö.
I
I
am
mean,
not going to say anything. I have been the secret agent the whole time, and you guys fell for my trick. I love Malmö. Malmö, you are the greatest. I don't know what I was talking about before.
Yeah, I agree. Malmö is really
Okay.
good. Like, yeah.
Yeah, there really are something I will have to agree. But now we're moving on to an interview with the famous Malmö City, and we have Rakshi here coming in, and Slipner as a guest and winner of the bet. I would like to honor you with the first questions to your countrymen.
Okay, Raxi, I'm gonna hold back my tears here. I'm so proud of you guys. It makes me so happy that you guys exist, and for such a long time, 9 full seasons, I've had an empty spot in my heart. That spot has been a Malmö team in Swedish Online League, and now you're in the final. I type to you. If you don't win, I have to tell people that Malmö is Danish. You told me, don't worry, I got this. And you had me, baby. Fucking love you, bro.
Thanks.
How do you feel winning this one?
I missed the question.
Yeah, how do you feel?
This guy gives a whole speech for 5 minutes talking about, yes, I ask you that I am worried because I will have to say that Malmö is Danish, and then you like give the whole setup and then just like, yeah, how you feel?
I don't know.
Wait.
I feel really tired. We haven't
That's
really.
my boy.
We played
Okay.
we played yesterday
calm down.
against Brøl EF or whatever they're called, just to warm up a little bit. Sadly, we all were hungover,
Oh,
so it didn't go very well. So it didn't build confidence for today. But I don't know. First game felt really good. We saw they picked Pantheon earlier, so and they haven't seen me play it, so I think they just left it open, and afterwards it was banned. Second game, I just think we all ran it down. We started like just talking about other stuff, so it didn't really work out. And third game, it felt really good. I feel like we played really well. Just some small errors. I think some fights we just fucked up, and I feel like we got caught off guard with Cassidy as well. He did a lot of damage at level 16 and 17.
Would you
Yeah.
say that you were buffed by me because I support you all the way?
Yeah, of course. And shout out to Jay and Mo Glissy as well, our biggest supporters in the chat.
There we go.
shout out indeed. And I mean,
no, shout out on my
I
mom
only really
supporter.
have one question for you guys. I mean, you're kind of new team. You just had a group of friends forming a team to play in Sol, and now you're in the finals of Division 3. Was it anything you expected, or how are you feeling about that?
I feel like this division is like really shit, so
Yeah, there we
if
go.
we're not in final, I just think I uninstall completely. And if we don't win the
Okay.
final, I'm just done with League. I played like levels above this, so it's really embarrassing if I don't do well for myself here.
You have showed Malmö in Sol, so I guess you have done your mission correctly now.
Yeah, but we're not done yet. We got a
Yeah.
final on Monday.
Oh, okay.
They're not
I
here
like
to
that concept.
participate. They're here to take over. Malmö's here to take over.
But is it a best of 3 or a best of 5, the final?
It's a best of 3.
5.
It is a best of 3. There's only BO5s in Division 1, I believe. All the other ones are best of 3s.
Right.
All right. Well, they're probably shit as well, so we'll beat them.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean,
damn,
I
okay.
love the confidence.
All right.
But you're better. You're better. You're better.
You are better.
Well, you guys support the other people here. You're the opposition, so I just have to say they're bad.
I mean,
All right.
I'm not the opposition. I apologized. You should see have heard me.
I was
How much pain I had in my heart apologizing to the people of Malmö and saying that it's the greatest city of in the entire world, you know. And
Why would
you know
why
what?
would it hurt to tell the truth? I don't understand.
Because
I mean,
you
I
know
guess.
that truth hurts sometimes, right? That's true.
Except when
Right.
it comes to Malmö, because it comes from the heart.
All right,
Yeah,
but
because it comes from the heart and you get a twig instead of a pay increase.
Oh
Something
yeah,
like
No.
Raxi, I told him about the twig in at the hospital that we paid like 50 millions for it just to plant for no reason.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, it's super good.
we love Malmö.
I mean, what else would you use the money on?
Yeah.
Yeah, who can say?
Salaries for the nurses. I don't know.
No, I don't know. Like,
They don't need anything.
who needs a
We
better
need trees.
salary? Nah. You know what? How about we take away from the nurses? They earn too much. They're so
Yeah,
entitled.
true. Yeah.
No. Yeah. No.
But we have no sponsors, so like I don't care about PR. We can just say whatever we want. That's the best, like the best part.
By
you
the
have
way,
to become the official Malmö City like municipality
Yeah.
esports team now. You
Yeah.
have no choice.
and just saying for legal reasons, that whatever I said was a joke, and don't take it seriously. Whatever I said.
There's already 5 nurses outside your door banging. You know,
But
they're gonna.
I see
destroy, like-
nurses more. I see nurses more than you think, actually, or like more often than you think.
Is that a
Well-
flex?
Okay.
It's not a flex. It's saying I'm.
Was it your girlfriend in the chat or Patrick? Don't you have to be a bit careful here?
I mean,
admit your
my girlfriend is in the chat. Shout out to my girlfriend. She knows that I'm mentally ill and I go to the hospital more often than I should.
Okay. Good
What is
save,
this
man.
flex?
We actually have we have a really big hater in our Discord. He's called Mumu. He's like really stuck in platforms. Can you just all say that he's trash? And then I'm like, pretty happy with this interview.
Whoever
Yeah.
was whoever is
Momo is
hater,
trash.
whoever is hater of the Malmö City, Momo, you are trash. You don't deserve to hate on Malmö City because they proved you wrong. And by the way,
He's stuck plat 4 and garbage at Chaco as well.
yeah, but he's a
I
Chaco
was say
player too.
in game. Don't forget in game. He's trash in
In-game.
game.
In-game, of course. In-game. Like outside of game, we don't know. But all right, now here comes the final question of the interview. The creme de la creme, you know? Everything that you ever want from an interview. Do you have anyone that you would want to shout out?
I feel like I shouted out the entire Malmö here, but yeah, shout out to Lundqvist, the best mid laner ever in Sweden. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you're not. You haven't been around enough.
All
Yeah,
right.
if you don't know, you're not a real one. That's what I'm saying.
Back in the 2019 days, we used to rule the League of Legends scene in Sweden. But I don't think you guys were around back then, sadly.
Was it before? Was it around Telia Masters or before that?
It was 2019. Yeah, it was EM Masters.
But the old
Yeah,
days.
don't reckon. Whatever.
And that was
full
It's
just
of-
before. It's
Yeah,
when it
it's-
was called Nordic Championship as well.
Yeah, right. I remember. We made a team like 2020, so it was just before the
Oh.
thing-
Yeah, I
first thing.
retired 2020, sadly. So
Yeah, that. Well, I think with that we'll round off this interview and this lovely stream. Actually, you're free to leave. Great play. I wish you the best of luck on Monday. Hope you guys win and show everyone how great of a city Malmö is, even though they're kind of weird about money.
easy
Anywho.
2-0.
Easy to 0. You heard it here
Easy to
first.
0? Okay.
2-0,
take
30
that.
minutes each game maximum. I think we're gonna do the first one 28, the other one 29.
All right, somebody mark his words, clip that, and we're gonna shame him if that doesn't happen.
Yeah, we'll definitely pick Pantheon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Big Pantheon, indeed.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna
You're
leave
not-
as well. Shout out to Malmö.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys for covering the games, and congrats to Malmö City. Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Congrats
Take
to
care.
Malmö City.
Thank you for being here.
Take care.
Bye bye.
And with that said, we're gonna be rounding up the stream. Thank you everyone for watching here. We're sorry for the technical difficulties. Hopefully it does not happen again. But for those who stuck around, thank you very much for watching. We've been Barracks. You can follow us on Twitch or Discord if you want to find out when we go live next. And with that said, see you guys next time.
See you guys around. Bye bye.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me. Hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight.